go live.
Welcome, everyone, to Geeks Talking Geek. I'm your host, Bandito Bain. With me is Eric O'Sullivan.
Aha. Hello.
And also my buddy Sylth, who will be providing us with the tabletop experience.
Hello.
As we bring on the new year, talking about comic books, movies, tabletops, TV shows, anime, and everything you could think of that is basically geek.
Talking geek.
Yeah.
Indeed.
All right. So, how was your guys' New Year's?
My New Year was great.
Mine was fine. I got invited to a party, and I left early, got home early before the midnight madness and rush, and before the Uber prices skyrocket, and it was nice. Yeah, I had a really sane New Year's. I usually stay in on New Year's and also on St. Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Day and 4th of July. It's kind of like amateur night. Everybody goes out.
And I spent my New Year's with my folks. Brother-in-law,
Nice.
my sister was only here for a while because my brother-in-law decided to get drunk earlier in the day, celebrated it a little too early, and
a little too hard.
Yeah. And after that, and while my parents were watching like the New Year's celebration on CNN, I decided to go to my pad and work on my great pile of shame until it was the New Year's celebration. And for those of you who don't know, a great pile of shame is when you have a bunch of Warhammer models that you have not put together yet, and you finally find time to put it together. It's like you have them set aside, but then you're like, I'm too busy. I'll get to them later. I finally found some time to work on my great pile of shame. And I'm doing pretty good right now.
Did you have them already glued together, or were they still in the frames and everything?
Yeah. So I got them all I got most of them set up, getting ready to paint.
Good job.
So do you paint them first when they're still in the frames and then cut them, or do you assemble them first and then paint them?
I actually assemble them first, and since I'm not that good of a painter, I'll use a spray paint base, and then I'll add on to what I want to, whether it's a contrast or a highlight. Like the more detailed models, I'll try to do it. I'll try to spray. I'll do it when they're still cut up. But like this guy, this guy right here, my Night Lord.
The one you were showing me.
My Night Lord Commander, I can't wait to start painting into him.
What hues do you think you're going to go with for the base?
Well, I'm going to go with for the base, I'm going to go with a black since the Night Lords are really black, since the Night Lords have like a dark blue aesthetic. And then I'm going to go with these skulls. I'm going with these skulls right here on a sword. I'm going to go with a gold, with a gold, and with a cape. It's basically human skin, so I'm going to try to find a flesh colored tone with it, and get some like crimson red with the high for the parts of his helmet.
For the skin cape, I would advise doing a gray base and then painting the flesh tones over top, so you can really encompass that decayed look.
Oh, really? Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Whenever I'm doing zombie looks, or I'm doing the undead looks, or when I'm helping my friends do cosplays that have fake skin that has been woven into a material, we always like to do a base of gray, then do a highlights of yellow, and then go over with flesh. Because the yellow gives it a sickly look. Pardon.
Wow. See, you learn something new every day, huh, Sully?
Yeah. So when I get my plastic crack, I'll take it. I don't do Warhammer. I barely. I have 19 unbuilt gunpla kits to get to, and like, I don't know if I ever will. I just got them for the boxes. I think.
Yeah, Sully likes to collect Gundam, but he never assembles them.
I'm a big fan of Gundam Double O, so just to get like oh, another Graham Acres one. I already got 4 of you. You don't have this one.
Okay.
So you're kind of like one of those people that likes to buy the Legos and leave them in the box.
Well, let's put it this way. I used to build a lot of plastic model kits when I was a kid, and like just I've loved them. You know what I mean? So I would assemble them. Well, that's where I asked the question, because some of them I started painting before you snip them off the frame, and but most of the time you would assemble them first. But like cars, jet planes.
Hate to interrupt you guys, but we got a very special guest.
Ooh.
Bethany, I have been trying to get you on this show for so long.
Well, new year, and that means new promises.
Thank you for showing up.
How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Good to see you, Eric. Good to see you guys.
Awesome, man.
Good to see
Happy
you.
New Year, buddy.
All right, so Sylph, this is my friend Makini. He's the head of the crazy sexy fun league.
Cute, sexy, and fun. How dare you?
Cute, sexy, and fun. He loves drawing. I showed you some of his art.
I thought
to be fair, we are crazy. So
yeah. Mac, I thought you drew the last issue of Jed McKay's Avengers number 22 that came out this week. They put in a Felicia Hardy was so bootylicious.
I have to look at that now.
That I was like, how the hell is this? She's supposed to be a cat burglar and go through like HVAC vents with that booty.
Okay, now let me check. Now see, now I gotta check now. See.
Yeah. It was like, look at that thing, man.
Like,
I broke my suspension of disbelief.
He loves drawing the classic cover girl with the defined features and
exactly.
That's my go-to. I love drawing a good pinup. A good pinup makes me happy.
Yeah.
Now come on now. You can't mistake that for me. What the heck, Eric? Come on.
I mean, it was.
I was looking it up. Sorry.
Okay. It was a joke.
I was looking it up. I was like,
I can't.
All right. So, everybody ready for the first segment?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, the first segment.
What I walk into.
All right. The first segment is Marvel showed its entire comic lineup in a one-shot. Now, there was a one-shot that just came out like during Christmas called Time Slide number 1, and it was basically Bishop, Cable, and Forge.
It was more like Time Slide number 2, as in a bathroom code.
Yeah. So they were basically sent to this one area where these villains were trying to take out historical events that happened in Marvel. And basically they showed off their entire lineup of events. Their entire lineup of events that's going to happen in 2025, and some of them actually look good. Some of them, I don't know. But first, we have like the 8 deaths, which is basically the Spider-Man 8 deaths. Then we have One World Under Doom, Rise of the New Champions, and I'm wondering if it's that Daniel Kibblesmith trying to make new champions again. You remember that?
Yeah, I'm slumping in my seat right now, just like.
I mean, I have nothing against like bringing in the champions again, but like, come on, those were like dad jokes for the names were like dad jokes. Be negative, safe space, and Snowflake.
The new warriors.
Yeah,
I personally also think it gave a very it turned a lot of LGBTQ superhero characters into even more of a laughing stock. Like their entire identity is that now, when there could be tens of hundreds of more better traits to focus on than that.
Yeah, I mean, Sylph, my Sylph right here, my Sylph is basically why I invited you here. You're a part of the LGBTQ community, but
Yes, I
like
am.
when people act when these artists actually create new characters, they actually put like the LGBTQ first and foremost,
Yes.
or their race or their religion first and foremost, and it's like they just make them into characters of what they are. What's their personality like? What do they like? What do they stand for? It's just very confusing. It's just like they're just like very 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 uh I can't even think of the word. It just gets me so frustrated with these things.
By also putting their race, their religion, or their identity as the main focal point, you're taking away what could be a spectacular design. Like Safe Space, perchance, it could talk about how they struggle with anxiety, so they constantly try to make everyone else feel good about themselves, and that's why they're given that name. But instead, no, it focuses on them being trans/non-binary, which is not
Mhm.
the way to go. Like, I forget who's like. Let's pull up a classic, Ivy and Harley. Their entire character has a whole lot more to do with the fact, like, her identity with Joker was
Yeah.
less of her relationship, like as a straight woman or bisexual woman, and more of how it made her feel and the mentality of it and how it made her make decisions. If they would do that, that would be amazing. But we all know that's not going to happen.
All right. So like going back to the list, they have Eternal Storm, False
Mhm.
Metal. That's probably going to
Okay.
be an Iron Man.
Okay.
Who is within the last egg? I have no idea. They announced this in the holidays, Strange of Asgard, since Doctor Strange is no longer the Sorcerer Supreme. That's Doctor Doom. And you know how have you seen The Simpsons where Homer and Mr. Burns went to Cuba with a $1 trillion bill?
I think was that the earlier was that the earlier seasons or that was one of the more later
Yeah,
seasons?
pretty much like the mid seasons, but like Q he had Fidel Castro to look to
Oh,
the
that's season 9. Yeah, I remember. Yes, I do.
yeah,
Yes, I
he
do.
gave Fidel Castro the $1 trillion bill so he can look at it, and then Mr. Burns says, "Now give it back," and he's like, "Give what back?"
What that is.
That's basically how Doctor Doom took the Sorcerer Supreme power.
Yeah.
One world under doom.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
we're talking about how Doctor Doom became Sorcerer Supreme, and I brought up the $1 trillion bill episode of The Simpsons where
Mhm.
Mr. Burns gave it to Fidel Castro, and Burns is like, "Now give it back," and he's like, and Castro's like, "Give what back?" That's how basically Doctor Doom became Sorcerer Supreme.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yes, he
All right,
hoodwinked Steven. He lied.
all right. So we also got Galactic Leaders assassinated. That's probably going to be like Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. I'm
Okay.
not really into like Guardians of the Galaxy. Time of Strife, Dormammu's invasion of Earth. Now, this I think could go with the teenage girl audience, but Marvel refuses to pander to the teenage girl audience. Miss Marvel's second Genesis. I mean, with
Oh boy.
The Miss Marvel show, I did not like it, but like teenage girls, preteen girls, they loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But they keep the I don't know what Marvel's marketing team is like, that they think that that she'll automatically be like the face of Marvel Comics.
They were doing that just remember they were doing that, all the way back during the all new, all different era with propping up Miss Marvel and Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, as the new face of Marvel Comics when
Yeah, I
I
remember.
realized that nothing's gonna beat Spider-Man. He's gonna be the flagship hero, regardless. It's always gonna
Yeah,
be the flagship.
yeah. I
It's
think
just
Sylph is
everybody's
too
got
young.
a neighborhood.
I think Sylph is too young to remember that.
I am just 20.
So, like,
So this happened during the I guess you could say from like 2017 to 2019, 2020, like during the
Okay.
all new, all different. Yeah, this is a
Oh yeah, I know about that one where they were having her on the face of everything. Everything was
Mhm.
plastered with her, and they were trying to see who they could pair her with in order to make her either look better or
Mhm.
to at least gain the attention they were trying to desire from her.
Yep.
Because she wasn't getting the attention they wanted to, so they just
Mhm.
started throwing her into everything. Like when they tossed her with
Yep.
Scarlet Witch, I highly believe that was just a ploy in hopes that they could do a whole girlhood thing and get more attention with that.
And the thing with the thing with Captain Marvel with Carol Danvers was that they propped her up as to be the strongest, most powerful character in the Marvel universe.
Bestest ever.
Best as ever. But the thing is that just because you're the most powerful character in the Marvel universe doesn't make you any more likable.
You nailed it right there.
Yes.
Here's what
Yeah.
that's the thing. That's the modern academic feminist thing. Like
This
you don't have to be likable, and that's you're missing the point because
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
it's a you have to be likable in order to get people to want to hang out with you.
yeah, that's
Why do
this
you
was
why do you why do you think Superman? Why do you think Superman is so beloved? Despite being the most powerful character in the DC universe, they make him very likable. They make him beloved. They try to make him as human. His best
Mhm.
stories are
yeah,
him.
Peter Parker, same
Exactly.
thing. He's
yeah,
just very
yeah,
likable. You like him.
Mhm.
You want to be friends with him.
yeah, and plus,
You
like,
want to spend time with him.
yeah,
Literally.
yeah, and plus, like, Ms. Marvel or Captain Marvel's became like a running joke. Like, people were saying, "What new power is she gonna get this issue?"
Yep. What power is she gonna take from? Like,
Yeah, like there was this one, there was this one where she basically, she basically t- became immune to the Ghost Rider's penance stare.
yep.
And the only person I know that was immune to Ghost Rider's penance stare was Doctor Doom, and that was because
Mhm.
of he thought all his sins were justified.
Oh,
Mhm.
I thought it was like Mrs. Ghost Rider or like Lady Ghost Rider. You know,
No,
I'm not putting up with your shit there, Mr. Ghost Rider.
all
That's a joke.
right. So like this one actually looks interesting. Ultimate Incursion.
Oh, geez. Again?
Ultimate Incursion.
That's what preceded Incursion is what literally the event from what 2014 that preceded Hickman's Secret Wars.
Yeah,
And
Oh, okay.
yeah, it was it was
and
the
this
Ultimate
one,
Universe was invading the 616.
Uh-huh.
and next one is who is the man with the hammer? I guess Thor loses the hammer again.
Again.
Again?
Yeah,
He just can't keep his toys.
Yeah, he's have like a GPS tracker or something like that, like a car alarm. Like when somebody takes his hammer, it should just beep off to him. Like,
Better
Someone give
standards
him
of
an
worthiness.
and this one actually looks interesting. Ghost Fist walks. It looks like the Ghost Rider is going to take over Iron Fist.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he gets killed. Danny Rand gets killed at the end of like a short story that came out recently in the like it was like the Iron Fist celebration special. They give Danny
uh-huh.
Rand a 50th anniversary book, but 3 years ago, where was Luke Cage's 50th anniversary? Nowhere. I mean, that's so unfair.
Yeah, I mean, those two had one of the best comic books in the 80s, Power Man and Iron Fist. And what
Oh
and
yeah,
I
so
remember
Danny gets
that
killed in
and
this.
I remember that they put up such a stink when Finn Jones was actually people put up such a stink when Finn Jones was cast as Iron Fist because he was doing martial arts, yet he wasn't Asian.
Yeah, and that is like, you look back at it and you're like, you have to be so steeped in your own ideology to not realize how racist you come off as when
For real.
when you're complaining about Danny Rand being Iron Fist because he's not Asian. Like,
As if Karate Kid never existed.
It's so weird. But I will say this though about Time Slide #1. As a comic book, it was okay. I mean,
Okay.
it was a complete mess until you get to the very end, which kind of cleans up the mess. And so it's a buddy cop movie with two people that intrinsically don't get along, and that's Bishop and Cable. They hate each other. All right, but they've kind of conveniently forgot about that, or maybe they reconciled the relationship recently rather. But DC Comics used to do books like this all the time in the early aughts. Like there was something called DC Universe #0, and it was done by Jeff Johns and Grant Morrison and the other writers. So there was like 4 segments previewing the books that came before the Final Crisis. So they had all these things lined up. Same thing with the 80-page Infinite Crisis special, where Blue Beetle gets shot in the head by Maxwell Lord.
Yep.
You will have a background screen that looks like this, like a chalkboard, or a giant layer screen. And so this is just like taking a page from. It's good to see Marvel ripping off DC, and not just DC always playing catch up to Marvel. So this is an old DC idea.
Yeah, and plus I remember like back in the 80s, one of the best comic books was like the buddy cop one with Green Lantern and Green Arrow. These two guys did not like each other, yet they had to work together a lot.
Yep.
Yeah,
But
they were actually friends. They were just actually like one was conservative and one was liberal.
Yeah,
and then that's where their disagreements. But they were friends though.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like this one, I'm kind of excited for, but I'm worried it's going to be another kick in the nuts for Spider-Man fans.
Yeah, Roshan.
Always
Oh, please now see, now you're worrying me now.
The ascension of Paul.
This one's Where is Spider-Man? Don't bring up that name.
No!
Don't bring up that name.
The devil has been spoken.
The devil in the man bun.
Okay, my question. I will always have this exact question. It would just be this one question every time I hear. I'm not into comics anymore, as much as I used to, but there's always that one question that if I have to ask Marvel one question, it's always this: why can't you let Peter be happy?
Because that's too easy.
What? Let him be happy, please.
I think Marvel has a thing with like giving. They just love to be like, here, you want it? You want it? You want it? No, you can't have it. You want it? No, you can't have it. And that's specifically with Spider-Man because he's so beloved. I don't know. I think someone is getting sadistic enjoyment from the fans revolting by it.
Yes. Whatever the chicken marketing.
Okay.
I'm a misogynist.
Peter deserves to
Sometimes.
be happy.
Okay, all right, so let's go back. What became of Emily Wright? I don't know who Emily Wright is. Sully.
You don't know who Layla Miller was until it got revealed in the events of House of M. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So I think that's my first. That's the first place my mind went. It's some new character. Probably Hickman's. Gonna put it. Hickman's got an event comic coming up this year.
Yeah.
There's been teasers about it.
Yeah, that one he wanted to do during his Krakoa era, but before his book got jacked by the other writers. All right, Will of Doom. Utgard Rises. I do not know who. I think that's a Thor. That's a Thor.
Guard. I
Thor
think
book.
that's one of the 7 realms.
Yeah, yeah, that's a Thor. That's got to be a Thor book.
Yeah.
Right.
Age of Revolt Revelations. Beware the Spiderweb.
Age of Revelations. I'll put $20 on it now. That's got to be an X-Men thing, and it's going to be about Doug Ramsey, who is the heir to Apocalypse.
Mm.
Remember, he's
is there still any like remorse from the whole, I guess that whole House of X, Powers of
The
10
Krakoa
event that
era.
they've been doing for years? Yeah, the Krakoa era. Is
Like-
there kind of like remorse from that or something like that?
There is a story note developing right now in Exceptional X-Men, written by Eve Ewing, with
Mhm.
addressing Kitty's. She went a little kill crazy at the end of the Krakoan age, but she's realizing like I killed people, kind of stuff. So she's about to get melodramatic,
Yeah.
with regret about going kill crazy on Orcus.
Yeah.
Okay, and who are the trait? I can't read this one because cable's in the way.
Down in front, Nathan.
Who would trade away immortality? All right. I think that's probably like an immortal weapons right there.
Immortal weapons. Interesting.
All right. Then we have X versus X. I think this is going to be like Uncanny X-Men versus like Gail Simone's Uncanny X-Men versus Jade McKay's X-Men.
So 2 X-Men teams. So it's a hero versus hero.
Again?
Again.
Again.
Then we got Rike Gene Bomb.
Oh, great. It's going to be like Spider Island, but worldwide.
Oh, no.
Everyone gets powers. And you get powers. And you get powers. And you get powers. And Bika, you get powers too.
Yeah, that just diminishes the importance of, the original hero.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing about the whole thing I did not like about Spider Island is it would have worked better if it was Daredevil, where the entire island is blind.
Mm-hmm. Well, to be fair, that just highlights always highlights my problem with the Spider-Verse in general, is that you have way too many Spider-Men roaming around, especially in the same city. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like Chicago, they need a Spider-Man.
mm-hmm.
Exactly. I mean, come on, all those tall buildings and stuff, man. Like,
Yeah.
Toronto,
Toronto,
they need a Spider-Man.
Like, I personally think it would have mitigated better if you just kind of like, let's stick with Peter, Miles, Jessica Drew, Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider, of course, Silk,
What about Julian
Ben Reilly,
Carpenter?
Kate Partner,
Let him well.
Julian Carpenter.
Oh,
Let's limit instead of putting them all in New York. Let's put them around different cities in America, or even cities across the world, so that you have a Spider-Man for each, something that kind of represents that region or something that represents that area.
Yeah.
Moscow, Hong Kong could use a friggin' Spider-Man. It's like a whole new skyline there, because Spider-Man's all about not just about solving crime, but it's about an urban superhero, using their surroundings to to web and to swing and to
Yeah. But all right, so this was basically the big reveal of all the events that are coming in Marvel, but DC basically fumbled the ball with their announcements. And this is basically our next subject.
Can I say I am legitimately not surprised. I'm shocked.
All right. So guess what? They like. Sully already knows this is what's happening. Guess
Okay.
what? Guess what the announcement DC did.
Oh gosh.
Let me guess. Let me guess. Bruce Wayne. Let me guess. Bruce Wayne is either dead or stuck in a different timeline or something, and somebody else is taking the reins as new Batman.
Baby.
Or another DC villain takes over Gotham again.
Close.
Bandito, who
Close.
cut the cheese?
Like City of Bane or City of
Nope.
Bane.
Oh, I forgot about this. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh.
Crack
Yeah.
the window! Oh, come on! Light a match! Oh, come on! Get some lemon.
This was announced. This was announced during the holiday season.
Listen. I'm trying so hard to not remember what I saw there, and the fact that this is DC and they're treating this as an April Fool's joke has to make me question myself. Okay, there needs to be like a company wide like meeting regarding this moving forward, and whoever is the heads here need to either they need to be fired or we need to have some serious ground rules here.
Someone needs to go to therapy.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably somebody's part. Or there we go.
It's certainly a fetish.
Yeah, this is the cover. This is the main cover for it.
So this is supposed to be an April Fool's joke. So
no, it's coming out in March.
Okay then. Where's the funny? I'm sorry. I'm still trying to figure out what's
there will be scratch and sniff parts of the pages.
There's going to be a scratch and sniff. Like let me pull it up. I got it on Comic Geeks.
Yes.
Actually, Harley has done scratch and sniff pages before.
Yes, but not to this level. Like I'm very, very. Harley Quinn was actually the person that got me into all my comics growing up. I got a Harley Quinn comic on the way to a road trip. Fell in love instantly. I'm very versed with how she's done quite a lot. She's even borderline fetish numerous times. That being said, this is too far.
You know, how many variant covers does this thing have?
All right, so let's see. We got
two.
We got two. Here's this one, which is probably the scratch and sniff one, and then we have this one, which is basically a redoing of Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel.
Let's pull my finger. I can see that from here. It's so stupid, but it's kind of
all
funny.
Right. So this is the synopsis. Calling all sickos. This one's for you. I have been holding in all my worst bits of bubble guts for the last 32 years. It's all been leading up to this epic explosion.
Blah.
You know, if this was say a 17-year-old or a 13-year-old kind of book, okay, I would let it slide because it's immature as such. But this is a 32-year-old character.
Yeah. Written by a 50-year-old Wynand. She's Joanne Starr. She did Fire and Ice, Welcome to Smallville.
Oh,
That was terrible.
Yeah.
How dare you ruin Fire?
My gosh. I mean, I honestly thought by the end they'd be hooking up.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I was surprised was all the queer baiting that was going on in that book.
Fire is like
the drag shows and that.
Fire is like one of the most like.
That book was terrible.
I even said some complimentary things.
One of the best things about Justice League Unlimited, and that's saying a lot because there's a lot of great things about Justice League Unlimited. That's saying a lot.
Yeah, and like I know Fire is bi, but Ice has always been depicted as straight.
Yeah, and with Guy Gardner,
Yeah,
who represents toxic masculinity and must be
yeah, and
taken down a
and
peg.
it's always fun to see it when she knocks him down a peg or two.
They can't
It was
help
always
themselves.
fun.
They
It was
really
always
can't.
fun seeing her do that.
You
But
know, DC, they cannot help themselves. They simply
yeah,
cannot.
and it is. This is just terrible.
$6.99 for 32 pages. Damn. Well, that's a variant cover though.
Yeah. Well, still, it's still going to be 32 pages long. Like this is going like your nose will never be the same again. You'll gag, you'll cry, you'll feel things you ain't never felt before. A fine publication is a celebration of things past, present, and to-do. Who says that?
I feel like that entire promotional thread, that entire promotional like statement there comes off as a threat.
Wonder
I
if
feel like it's like a threat,
I
you
wonder
know.
if the writer
Or a
Joanne
promise.
Starr wrote her own copy for this ad blurb.
All right. The subsequential arts, the place annuls of history is about to change with the release of Harley Quinn's Fartacular, Silent but Deadly, a comic that promises to have the highest concentration of gas per page. GPP. Cute.
If I was the artist on this book, I would be embarrassed, honestly.
Ever
A
committed
gig's
to
a gig. Boy,
Gig's a gig, I understand, but
all
it's
right,
Ted Brandt.
really,
Ted Brandt and
Rose Stein.
Rostein. Rostein is, I think, Rostein is R.L. Stein's daughter, I think,
Oh,
or maybe they're related.
I'm just saying.
Okay, emphasis committed because everyone who worked on this comic gets thrown into Dr. Fartley's home of no good gassy gals and guys. Read the comic that Abraham Lincoln called a joy to fart to finish. Moments before he died. Warning, we aren't kidding. If you're grossed out by farts, then this comic isn't for you. And that's perfectly okay, though I'm judging you. Unless
I just want to I just want to put a disclaimer. I just want to put a little disclaimer that somebody wrote this. Okay, that people are writing this. That there are writers.
Yeah.
Someone
That
thought
someone
this
who
was a good
doesn't have
idea.
the moniker of decency, self-esteem, or even self-respect actually wrote this.
yeah, I mean, this is. I thought this was a joke at first, but then Wes came on. Wes came on, and I was like, okay, Wes is Wes is a little hold back, but Wes is a little full gun ho against modern comics. I'll check another channel. They were talking about this. Even Penguin Zero brought this up.
Yeah, when it's so bad that even non-comic channels are talking about this, then you're in trouble.
Yeah. Unless you want to put your feelings to the test, which is the case of this comic which in case this comic is for you. This is just terrible. I feel sorry for you, Sylph.
I'm just going back in my head to my favorite Harley Quinn Haunt in the City. That's where the comics ended in my head.
The only saving grace I could find, and believe me, I'm trying so hard to find something tangible or something that is worth a saving grace, is that Jorge Jimenez is not on this book.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Jorge Jimenez's work has been wasted, honestly, with the Batman stuff I've been hearing.
Well, he actually did a great job with Mark Millar's Big Game. That one was an incredible book with incredible action, incredible incredible art. If you guys have not read Big Game, it's basically like the supervillain Nemesis and the bad guys from Wanted going up against the heroes of Mark Millar's comic books. Like you got the Kingsman, you got Kick-Ass, you got Jupiter's Legacy, and it just ends in you got the Ambassadors. It's just end with a big all out brawl, which actually reminds me of the Civil War when he did it.
Okay.
That just wait, that was Pepe Loran that did Big Game. Jorge Jimenez did the second Nemesis arc, and I mean, especially when you're doing an anti Batman with the character Nemesis, he pulled out all the stuff. Excuse me, he pulled out all the stops for that one. All right, so let's get this with a palate cleanser, because I am glad you're here, Mac, because I have been playing Marvel Rivals, and I love it. Some of my favorite characters are Jeff the
tomorrow.
Shark. Yeah. Well, thanks for letting me know. I'll check that out. Some of my favorite characters to play are Penny Parker, Venom, Spider-Man, and Jeff the Shark. Jeff the Land Shark.
I'm not gonna say that Penny is next on my list, but Penny is next on my list.
I thought it was going to be Psylocke. Oh, you're going to draw her.
No. See. Oh, I'm gonna have so much fun with Penny. I'm gonna start on her tonight.
You did a great job with Psylocke.
Oh, people are loving it. People are loving it. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
People
are loving it now. It shows up on Rule 34.
You want to show it off?
Sure. Let me turn my. Give me a minute. I need to turn on my virtual camera for. Turn on my virtual camera for this one.
Yeah.
Okay. 1 second. Give me a minute.
Have you tried Marvel Rivals yet?
No, I have not.
All right.
It's like what Conquered should have been.
No, it's basically Marvel taking. It's basically NetEase basically stealing Blizzard's lunch, because it's basically what Overwatch it's basically doing what Overwatch should be doing.
So I should enjoy it. I like Overwatch.
Yeah, it's actually really fun. I'm having fun playing it.
Oh, did I change? Oh, I did. Okay, I'm gonna have to shoot.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you have to give me a minute because I got to.
You got a message from Power, Mac.
Yeah, what's up, Power?
Brazilians will love Penny and Miles art more. Penny and Miles art.
Fortunately, I know a Brazilian. Fortunately, I know a Brazilian in our chat. So good to know. Thank you, Power. All right, let me go.
Yeah. Good to see you, Power.
Okay, virtual camera, perfect. All right.
I got some video game news. I bought one of those. Actually, I bought a couple. Here, that's part of the story. For Christmas, I bought myself with my Amazon loot. If on your X feed, have you noticed like the handheld that has all the thousands of games? It's a Linux emulator that nails like Atari 2600 through like PlayStations. Like it's just like has thousands of games. Hello.
Wow. Yeah, let me try to blow that up.
I am so proud of this, honestly.
As you should be. The line weight alone is gorgeous. I like how you did the shading as well with the.
I know. I've been trying to do shading technique. I've been trying like different shading techniques. And I think I've been trying this shading technique specifically, and I am sticking with it. I'm like, no, this is great. It is great. And the best part about this drawing is easily Jeff.
Jeff.
Oh shit.
He's just
Jeff
happy.
just trumps everything else.
Yeah, I just love the details you have right here with the right there with the straps on the thighs.
Yeah, people are loving the thigh squish. That's what people are saying. The thigh squish. It's actually pretty easy to do. Skindentation, though. But yes, I had so much fun with this one.
Yeah, you did.
How long
You
have you
did
been doing anatomy?
How long does it take for me to do anatomy?
No, how long have you been doing anatomy? Like I personally, I spent about 5-ish years focusing on anatomy because I like doing similar stuff to what you do, which is pretty girls doing pretty things.
I want to say like 2025, about like 12 years, I guess.
It paid off. It looks spectacular.
Thank you.
Of course.
The best part is, you know what the great part is? I shall tell you what the great part about this is, aside from Jeff.
Okay, we're waiting.
Do the clothes come off?
Next week, it's coming to the Etsy shop next week. This is going to be a sticker. Yeah. It's going to be a sticker.
Let's go.
I'm making it. It's coming next week. It's going to be a sticker.
Let me put this in the chat real quick. Your Etsy shop.
I had to do a quick render. I had to do a quick render of the hilt last night just so I can make it Etsy as a sticker. But yes, it's part of my new
sticker initiative. Your Etsy shop. He does. He makes stickers of his work. Let me put it up. Let me put a link to his Etsy shop real quick on the.
I have I got a. Where is it? I do also have a. I've been dipping into Rivals a little bit here and there, and I have been. I've been really fun with it. I just did this was the last one I did of Squirrel Girl. That was the last one I did, Squirrel Girl, with the new render.
Yeah, I love it. The Squirrel Girl is great.
And you know what the best part is? I challenged my chat. And my chat decided to answer. Never challenge your audience, because now, under obligation, I am doing a second Squirrel Girl drawing with the acorns fully out.
Ooh. How did you challenge your chat, if you don't mind me asking?
Let's see. So 75 likes. I basically said on a community post, 75 likes, and I will do a variation of this completely topless. And my chat broke it to 85 likes, and I was already finishing this, so I was like, okay, fine. I will do a second drawing.
I can the same pose here. We can just recolor the top into flesh tones.
No. I already redrew it. I already did the flats. I just need to start rendering. I already need the flats. Yes.
That waka waka.
Yes. Yeah. Never challenge your chat. When
the chat will always win.
Yes.
What can anyone remember this? Where the story comes from, but it was just this one moment between Squirrel Girl and Logan, where they just kind of looked at each other, and walked away from each other, and it was insinuating a carnal hookup between those two, and some kind of a go. But it was just I thought it was a very appropriate moment that a Wolverine would want to have relations with a squirrel, up in the branches.
I remember when Laura was there was this one issue of Laura Kinney Wolverine or All New Wolverine, where Squirrel Girl actually showed up to Laura's house with a Wolverine because she thought she could speak to Wolverines. I thought that was fun. Actually,
That's
kind
an
of funny.
interesting assumption because Falcon can. Oh, I'm sorry, Captain America can speak to birds. Falcon can speak to
And
birds. And Red Wing is.
I feel like Squirrel Girl's inclusion in Marvel Rivals, especially with how popular she's gotten because of Marvel Rivals, is one of the biggest palate cleansers because I was reminded last week of Erica Henderson's Unbeatable Squirrel Girl from 2017. I was like, oh, that art was terrible. That book was terrible.
It was perfect. So you dirty, dirty boys wouldn't objectify poor little squirrel girl with her little bushy tail.
I had to.
And her acorns.
I hated that run.
It's just like
dirty boys just looking at Squirrel Girl.
This can't be true. This can't be real here. I remember that was part of how I discovered your boy Zach back in the day. Just going through this. I'm sorry. It's just.
Speaking of your boy Zach, what do you think of his content lately? I'm a fan.
I stopped subbing.
Really?
I stopped subbing a long time ago.
How long ago?
Like a couple months ago.
Oh, okay. When he started getting about birthday party clowns and stuff.
Yeah.
Really?
And it's just, I just felt that he's gone off the deep end personally. But
really,
that's just me.
I understand. That's what I'm asking. Go ahead.
I think that I think with the Comicsgate guys, they just ended up getting jealous of each other's success.
It's like hip hop. I mean, seriously. Because Dr. Dre said this back in 1988. It's all about who you are, where you're at, what you got, or about a sucker MC. And that's like completely what's going on in the indie comic sphere. You know what I mean? And here I am wearing all caps gear, and I'm like, I don't even consider myself Comicsgate. I'm definitely adjacent, though. Hey, we were talking about like, hey, what's the comic book that's coming out in 2025 that you're looking forward most to? We were talking on West today, and you know what my answer was? Unironically, it's Rainbow the Brute, because that is coming up this year. And really? I have been waiting 3 years for this thing. I backed it 3 years ago. Yeah. On the top level too, I'm getting it's the executive briefcase, and so the briefcase is actually a lunchbox, and we met our goals, so we're getting a thermos.
Nice.
Yeah, so I got 2 of them.
All right, so going back on topic, like I said, Marvel Rivals has been going great. Outdid over 2 million players worldwide. But it has caused outrage from bad actors.
Really?
I'm not surprised. This was brought up, like, I know you brought this up on your show, Mac, but this was brought up from socialist gamers.
Is it the famous one?
Yes. Thoughts on Marvel Rivals? Not a fan of these character designs, especially characters like Laura Snow, who are very male-gazy and serious lack of diversity. But the game looks like it could be fun. Thoughts?
I love
this image so much. Great. I love it.
Who's that supposed to be in the center? America Chavez?
That's Luna Snow.
No.
Luna Snow.
Who is she?
Luna Snow is from, if I'm correct, she's from Future Flight.
Yeah.
She's from a mobile spinoff, Future Flight. She's been in some comics as well. I also remember her from, I guess, what was it, the Agents of Atlas or something like that, where they put all the Asian characters in one like book or one series.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So she had some comic runs, but Luna Snow, I remember
she's going to be in the TVA, and she's going to be in the TVA comic.
Okay. I love alternate Spidey outfits, and that one looks pretty cool.
Yeah, like this person thinks that there's not enough diversity in it, and
there's never enough diversity.
like this one, hello, Chad, coming from a second-rate YouTube none of us have ever heard of. I like to be specific, but my goodness, there are so many of these channels that are basically make the same content. You're not welcome in this community if your brigade is to if your brigade here, please reply so I can ban you. Thanks. Okay. So these people are supposed to be on the right side of history, right?
You know, only the next generation can really decide that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I don't think these people are going to reproduce because they don't think they get lucky.
Sylph, I want to get your thoughts on this.
Okay, but I was going to say Mac is bringing up the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
I love the design of those costumes.
They're coming in. Yeah, they're coming. Yeah, it's coming next January 6th. And there's already fan art of Sue Storm. We work fast. There's already fan art of Sue Storm. People are loving this outfit. I'm loving all of them. I'm loving all of them. It's like this is proper,
I like the
That's a great read. I mean, seeing
that is a great read. Yeah, it is. That is a
Herbie looks great.
I'm wondering if Reed works with Herbie at all.
I like Ben. He's got like a chunk missing out of his head in a way, so it looks like that looks pretty cool. He's got a great design, but I love the costumes. And Sue looks great, but still, it's like Reed looks amazing.
Yeah, that was the one that kind of caught my eye immediately. I was like, "Oh my god,
that's a great." Why doesn't Reed do that? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but also like this was also brought up by Grums, or no, not Grums, but Pirate Nation,
right?
And thought like this is basically a Chinese studio that did this, and they took inspiration from the comic books.
Yes, they did.
But like they did a lot better than a Western studio that took inspiration from the MCU.
Yeah, and I know exactly what you're referring to, and that is the comparison between that's gone viral. The comparison between Marvel Rivals designs and Marvel's Avengers video game, the one that got the live service title that got shut down.
Look at that design real quick. There's something very sublime here. I love it. It's because our Chinese design, the one on the left, they've given Natasha heels. So what that does is it accentuates a different musculature. You know what I mean? She'll have butt cheeks with that look. You know what I mean? Yes. So there, the one on the right that's very Western, very plain, but she's wearing flats, and so those muscles aren't in perpetual kind of tension. So, wow, Rivals is the winner.
Yeah, it was close to Widowmaker. It was close, so enough that former Blizzard head Mike Ibarra thought they were plagiarizing when they didn't realize that Black Widow was out like decades before Widowmaker was ever even conceived. Black Widow was the inspiration for Widowmaker in Overwatch. Like,
that is just a dumb take. So, any thoughts on the designs?
I personally really like the designs. I think they do a good job at paying homage to the original designs while still also taking some certain key details and accentuating them. Like he was saying with the heels, I like the heels. I also like that the heels are, from what I can see on it, they're complete like a heel boot. So while also still giving the accentuated vibe, it still also looks like it would be a suit that someone could do some badass shit in. Like,
yeah.
I understand that flats are more useful in combat and fighting situations. That being said, we're also there for the pretty designs and for people to look good.
The whole
I think one of my friends said, there are just some cases where you just want to put high heels on. You just want to give them high heels. Like, You know what? I'm leaning towards that now. I'm starting to kind of towards high heels now. Like,
This Hulk looks terrible. I mean, the one on the bottom looks like he has a beer gut.
that's what I was noticing.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Too smooth. Like there's not enough definition. That's the whole point of Hulk is the over exaggeration of musculature.
Exactly.
Yeah, and there's just like the one on top. That's got it going on. You've got some definite. That's physiology right there. I mean, the one on the bottom looks like
I forgot
yeah.
to share this.
It's also not the Hulk like silhouette. Hulk has always had this big upside down triangle silhouette. His shoulders accentuate his smaller head. His legs have always been muscular. That being said, the main muscle has been his traps and his shoulders. And the bottom one, it looks like he's been kind of slacking on the arm day and been doing leg day for like 3 months straight. Like, what's going on? 6 times save lives, but darn, them be thick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like this one is Iron Man. Now,
Ooh.
I love the Marvel Rivals Iron Man. It just looks like
Nice design.
Iron Man stepped out of the comics, but but the one
I totally forgot to share this, and Eric is going to be surprised as ever. Legitimately is.
Let's see it.
Guess what I drew for the first time, Eric?
Felicia Hardy, the Black Cat. Wow, Venom. Sweet.
Yeah,
That's really
not.
Oh, Bentito, I thought you were Venom for a second. I'm sorry.
I'm still trying to get this.
Your tongue.
I'm still trying to get this layout.
That's really good.
I love Venom's design in Marvel Rivals. I love it. It's like what Venom should be looking like. Like he should have that stature that matches the Hulk in a way.
Yeah.
Tall and frightening.
Looks like Liquid Menace. You know?
Exactly. Like
you know who would love this would be James Harris, Ginger Ninja.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right now him and his family are doing prayers for the New Year's at the temple. All right, so let's go back to that.
So which one is the Rivals is on the left, correct?
Rivals is on the left. That's the more stylized. Yeah. Yes.
I'm a sucker for a good Iron Man alternate.
Yeah.
Like, okay, check it out, man. Like right now in Marvel continuity, as of like in continuity, Tony is in 3 different places doing 3 different things in 3 different armors. You know what I mean? He's in Avengers with Jed McKay. So he's got that Mark 72 Mysterium armor, the one with the black accents. It's really cool looking. Becca Larraz designed it. Then over on his own book, he's got this kind of like weird steampunky kind of armor because Roxxon has taken away all of his patents in a hostile takeover.
Oh, okay.
And again. And then he's over on Jerry Duggan's West Coast Avengers. So he's over in the West Coast hanging out with his Avengers team. And he's got back the Silver Centurion armor, that Mark V armor. You know what I mean? The red and silver one from like 1982.
Yes.
Issue 200. Yeah. So he's like, so it's like nothing makes sense in Marvel Comics because they have the editors don't talk to each other, obviously.
And fun fact, of course, Iron Man 2, his armor in Iron Man 2 is based off the Silver Centurion armor.
Yeah. The suitcase one.
Yeah.
That was actually a really cool design. I really like that. I like Iron Man 2.
Well, it looks like a dollar store discount version of actually this one, the one on the right from Marvel's Avengers, looks like something I would have sold at Spirit.
Especially with the pack and extra crotch emphasis. Like it looks like it's not fitting him right. Like he's wearing a suit that's not made for him, you know?
Yeah, and this one and the one for Rivals really emphasizes that he works out.
We need an Iron Patriot skin for that. We need an Iron Patriot.
They got a War Machine too?
No, War Machine's not in there yet.
Okay.
War is not yet because I think it's been leaked or it might be coming down the line. But yeah, we need an Iron Patriot. Like,
Yeah, so
freaking Norman Osborn, Dark Avengers.
yeah.
Patriot, like seriously.
So let me share this one with Captain America. And
Sometimes Captain America ones they just get it really wrong.
yeah.
They do.
Yeah, like oh god, like Marvel's Avengers for PS4, PS5. That they got it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like those look like hockey pads to me. Okay.
I agree.
Like this one, Rivals looks like he is wearing body armor, but it looks like it's fitted him well.
I'm not a fan of the black pants. I'll tell you that. It's too much.
I need a Captain Steve Rogers suit. I need a Captain Steven Rogers suit. That is my favorite suit of Captain America, by the way.
Is it the black suit or the white suit?
It's the first suit he wears at the beginning of. It's the suit he wears in Winter Soldier. That is based off of.
Okay, yeah. That's the newer. Yeah, it's blue with the white.
Yes,
there's no red accents. It's all blue and white.
Yes, I love that suit so much. I saw that in the comics. I was like, oh.
For that one at the beginning of Winter Soldier, that was the stealth shield.
Mm-hmm.
The stealth suit. That's what it was.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on Captain America?
I actually like the right side one. I do agree with the whole. It looks more on the left. It's better for his fitting on his body. He actually looks like he's built. That being said, I do like the aesthetic more of the right side with the paneling, especially the vertical lines going down. I don't know what it is. I just like the right side.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
the pattern is nice, but that could have worked. That pattern is nice.
Yeah, it could have worked.
That pattern is nice. Work with that build though. But with the build on the left, basically.
I wish they took the color scheme of the right side and smacked it on the left side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and next one I want to put up is, you want that one?
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm dead serious. I love the strike suit. I absolutely love that suit, and it is the Captain Steve Rogers suit. I love it.
I second.
Yeah, yeah. I would love to see this suit as an alternative suit in Marvel Rivals.
I was hyped when I saw in Civil War. I was like, oh, he's wearing the stealth suit. Yes, he's wearing the Captain Steve Rogers suit. I love it. Sorry, it's my favorite suit. That's my favorite.
All right, so I'm going to show you this last one, and it's basically Thor, a version of Thor. Now, they both look good, but I really like the one in the on the left, the Marvel Rivals one. It just looks so real battle worn. Like if he just came back from another crusade. Like Mac, Sylph, you guys are both artists.
Like for one, you can go ahead. Sylph, you can go ahead.
I like the aspect of the upper part of the right side. I really agree with the worn part of it, but I like the ponytail and because I like the worn hair with the ponytail because I feel it would go best with the left side's outfit because, like Juan said, it's got all the wear on it. Pardon. I do like that shield. I don't know about y'all. I haven't seen a whole lot of Thor using shields.
No.
And I like it.
That was like when
Thor doesn't need a shield because he's not defensive.
Well, that was like I think that was like when he was in Planet Hulk or like that the second Thor movie. No, wait, it was the third Thor movie.
Third Thor movie. That was Ragnarok.
My friend.
Thor Ragnarok.
Mhm.
I like that movie. I don't care.
Mhm.
Yeah. So this
You're
was
right.
like
I did.
his gladiator costume from that movie.
Dude, Ragnarok made me teary-eyed when the Led Zeppelin came on. I fucking loved it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Um,
you could keep going, Sylph.
You're 100% right. Thor does not need a sword. He is literally a god. That being said, I like that it's not a shield, pardon. It's not more of defense shield. It looks like an offense shield. It's got spikes on the side. It looks more like he's throwing it around than he's actually protecting himself with blows with it.
Okay.
I'm
Mac, your thoughts?
I am going to be the odd man out on this one, but out of all the characters in Marvel's Avengers, Thor's is the one I actually like the most. Like, maybe because they were trying too much for his model to be too similar to Chris Hemsworth. And I think for that it works. I think here it works. However, the Rivals one trumps it simply because Thor's build. You know, he's cut to the nines. Like, he is legitimately like cut to the nines, which I think as he should be, you know, as he should be in the comics. He is. You're talking about a character you can talk about a character who has had back and forth spats with Hulk. Like, he has that, and he is a freaking god. And you know, I'm actually going to follow Sylph's comment from the last design. Take the color scheme and put that on. Take the color scheme from the right and put it on the left.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah. Okay. Like, there are so many comparisons for like current, like, from Marvel Avengers, and like I think they're gonna but they're also going to put in more characters, more gameplay.
Oh yeah.
Like, everything that they promised in Overwatch 2, they're going to put that in Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, I suspect they're probably going to do a PvE at some point. And also, by the way, there's a couple more here I'm going to share with you. I found this on Reddit. So this is, and I'm going to blow this up right here. So I'm going to blow this up real quick. So this is on Reddit. This has you see caps. Look, and then you see you kind of see the attire from here. Same thing. You guys seen that? You guys have seen that. This is a silver armor here, which on the right, that does not work. That does not work with that with Tony's exposed head like that, especially with the way his helmet is like that. It does not work. Of course, this is based off his
classic
end game. No, this is end game. This is supposed to be the end game armor. This is the end game / Infinity War. He wore end game armor, of course. I do prefer the stronger color scheme on the right. Of course, we got same thing here with this Thor. You can see that it is see that the right is much stronger, especially with Thor's stronger Asgardian looking more like his father, honestly. Like his father on the right, which I really like. Same thing. Same thing.
That's the Herald of Galactus look.
Yep, the Herald of Galactus look, and the one on the right looks like a wig.
I like him better with pants on. Let's put him that way.
Right. This is
movie Thor.
I forgot which one though. I think this is
Love and Thunder.
This might be Love and Thunder. Is it Love and Thunder? I don't think so. Yeah, this might be Love and Thunder. Yeah, you can see how hulking he looks. Like, you can see how cut to the nine he looks on the left. It's just like absolute towers over him. Same thing. So this is the classic. So we're going classic Hulk, and yeah, the same thing here. It looks like he doesn't have a gut. He doesn't. It looks like he has too much of a beer gut in a way. Like he let himself go, as what Sylph was saying. Whereas when you look on the top, it's like how Hulk is meant to resemble. Basically, he's supposed to have a stronger. He's supposed to be looking more like that on the top, where it's just like, yeah, he looks like too much. He let himself go. It's like, no, he's supposed to be more beastly. He's supposed to be more animal-like in his design, basically.
You're like Fat Thor,
Yeah,
Fat Hulk.
Same thing. The Mighty G Bomb. Of course, we got Planet. Of course, we got we got the Planet Hulk.
That's pretty cool design, though.
Yeah. The one on the top is really sick. On the top is really sick. Standard. This is standard Black Widow attire.
Once again, heels versus flats. It's in the there's an accenture to the hips, to the thighs and the buttocks, and you know what I mean. There's a thing to it. It's very feminine, and the one on the right lacks some femininity.
Lacks that, but I will give points for the gold cuffs, as it is basically closely tied to Black Widow's comic outfit. I will give it that. Same thing you see here. This is from the Black Widow film. The one on the right, hands down. This one is I know this is a point of contention.
Okay.
Hawkeye.
This is Clint.
I like Clint. Yeah. Neither for me, but
Sylph, what do you like better, the classic Hawkeye look or the Shinobi look on Hawkeye?
I guess I gotta go classic. That's just what I've seen more, and that's what I kin to more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, I agree. I totally agree. It's just it doesn't look like the Rivals version does not look like Hawkeye.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like Hawkeye. I will agree to that. However, that is sick.
It's very good design. It's just if we're talking as a design for Hawkeye, that's not Hawkeye.
For Hawkeye, it's not Hawkeye.
Yeah,
it's more like it's not even Ronin. It's not you can not even Ronin.
Ronin will be cool, but
that'd be good for Predator.
People brought up.
I wouldn't mind seeing a Ronin skin on there.
I agree. I agree with all of you. I agree with everyone here. But I love this design so much that I could just see it in the film, and I could see like Jeremy Renner voicing it. I don't know why. It's just I love it. It's like going full into the whole Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden look. I'm like, yes. I'm like, totally yes. I love everything about it. You're right. This is more true. That is, yeah.
I can get more down with that one. That one's
I
nice.
could, definitely get down with that one.
I like the Rivals ones. The Rivals ones, the colors pop more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like that. I don't like the muted colers because that's just too Zack Snyder for me. I mean, these are superheroes. They're superheroes. They primary colors. They can pop off the page or off the screen.
It's like animated versus. Of course, here this is.
I love the blackout.
Spidey's the most decent in the far as the Marvel's Avengers games go. Spidey's definitely has the most decent outfit, and of course with Spider-Man, you do realize that when you bring a character like Spider-Man into a game like this, you're going to have so much to play with because Spidey has so many costumes. It is unreal. Like, you go play the Insomniac games, you don't realize how many costumes Spider-Man has. From everything.
I love a good Spidey alternate, and
I do. Like, I'm thinking to myself, what suits would I like to see?
Classic black. It would Mike Zeck. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Something that's more like the classic, of course, the black suit, obviously. I would like to see, because I know they have that whole thing with that whole Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man show. I would like to see the Future Foundation suit.
Oh gosh, you hate us all, don't you? I'm kidding. It looks like anti-venom.
Oh yeah, anti-venom. And of course, this is the
Ooh.
Infinity War. That's the
Yeah.
Infinity War suit.
I don't mind this suit. I like this suit.
I like it too.
Yeah.
Especially the old cops.
Now this is cool. I like a good T'Challa alternate. You know,
I feel like the one on the right is too much of a bastardization.
it's too much because T'Challa doesn't have to be ripped like that. I mean,
no, he doesn't. But the way he stands like that, it's just the way his body and stuff like that. It's like, I'm sorry, it's too.
Hi dog.
It's too stocky. I guess.
I think his legs are too out of proportion for the rest of it. Is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, the stance is also throwing it off completely. That's not a Black Panther stance whatsoever.
And plus, giving him hands and feet, he needs to have the claws, like period.
Right.
Yeah.
Like period. And this is even the.
Whose dog?
Sorry.
Give him a bump in the nose from me.
I'm
please.
sorry. I'm
Boop.
sorry.
Now this is
this is the Chicago. I forgot what this was from, but yeah,
like this is Black Panther. It was like a 1 million. It wasn't like a million years in the past. It couldn't have been, but it was like didn't Philip Kennedy Johnson write that? The Avengers of the far past.
Oh yeah, like the prehistoric, like there was a prehistoric Avengers.
There was a Ghost Rider on a mammoth. There was a Sorcerer Supreme. There was a
I think it was like
Panther.
a prehistoric Avengers.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah,
there was a Thor.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, no, not nothing on the right. The left looks so imposing. Everything looks so imposing instead of 1,000 left. This is Bucky,
my boy. I don't like the Rivals one. I gotta say it.
Really?
Too much green.
Okay.
Yeah,
really not his primary. That's not his iconic color combo.
he should have kept the black and gray.
Yeah, cooler color. Yeah, cooler colors. You know, green's not his color.
No, it seems like even his arm's slightly green, and that's throwing me off personally. Also, his robot arm is not in proportion with his other arm. Like, are you seeing what I'm seeing, Mac? Like, if you look, the elbow joints are off.
Yeah,
and that's personally bothering me.
Yeah, like it should have kept it with black. He should have kept. I think with the base design, I think he should have stuck with the Winter Soldier. Like stuck with straight up Winter Soldier look, and that is, yeah, the one on the right. It's the same thing. Is take the color palette from here and then just bring it over here. I do give points for the fact they give him a mask, though.
Yeah, me too. Here, same here.
It's like, as someone who felt that Bucky was nerfed after Winter Soldier, like considerably nerfed after Winter Soldier. Yeah, we need to. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. So,
sorry about that. My dog.
I just wanted to show the comparisons here between.
What's the dog's name?
Cosmo. He's the oldest one. I had to feed.
I think
right now,
all of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Right now, I'm
demands his supper.
Yeah. Right now, I'm house sitting. My dad and my stepmom went to Seattle for my sister's wedding.
Yeah.
Nice.
There was only a handful of characters in Marvel's Avengers, so this was.
Yeah. I actually like the designs for Marvel Rivals. Some of them, it looks like an actual comic book.
I love a lot of them, but I can definitely see the criticisms with some of them, though. Like some of them are like too detailed, I guess, too overly. Like I would case of you overly design it when it's like, okay, I think you can pull some of it back. Like pull some of it back, like simplify it. Like there's too much going on, I guess you could say. With some of the characters, it's just.
I was gonna say, are these designs gonna be animated?
Yeah.
Man, I would love that. I would love that.
Because
Like-
if they are, they certainly do need exactly what you're saying. They need to pull back on certain details, or else it's either going to take 6 years, or it's just going to look very clunky.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. Like I said, I like all of them. Like seriously, I really do like. I legitimately like the style. Legitimately love the fact that it's like, it is fusing a more anime-ish style while staying true to the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like staying absolutely true to the characters. I'm like, I would love to see if, with the whole thing of the MCU getting rebooted, I do want to see them take this approach, because there's not a single character that doesn't pop out at you.
Right.
There's not a single one. And it's like
Loki fans will be happy. Look at that. That's a great Loki.
It's like it's perfect. Like they even gave us a proper.
Oh, is that a Punisher?
Yes, they gave us a proper Punisher.
There we go. Look at that Punisher.
And it's not Diet Frank. And it's not Diet Frank.
That's a good
it's
Punisher.
not Diet Frank, and they even did him good by giving the skull back.
Just,
I mean,
there you go. That's fine. I'm really happy with that design.
Yeah, I hated Jason Aaron ruining the Punisher for me.
Yeah, looks like he would belong in Gears of War or Doom.
Do they have any? Do they have any X-Men characters? Like, is Logan in there?
Yes, plenty.
Yeah,
plenty.
Okay.
Let me do this. I'm gonna find all characters. Hang on a second.
I like that even though they're still they are leaning more into the anime side of things, you can still tell the homage to the original, like, comic designs with how the characters are proportioned and everything.
Mm.
It's Luna. The proportions. It's true, like comic. Like,
Mhm.
yeah.
This is why Disney bought Fortnite, right?
Yes,
it is.
They're basically they're basically doing a partnership with Fortnite right now. Yeah.
It looks like this is the Fortnite engine. I don't even a gamer on that level, and I can see that.
It's incredible. You see a lot of different characters. Of course, they give us
proper
cloak and dagger. They give us
they look great.
Really great looking cloak and dagger.
That's so sick. Look at that. That's great.
Like Coke looks sick. Like
they both do. And she look at her curves. She looks Tandy looks.
She is gorgeous. Beautiful. Yes, they absolutely gorgeous. Doctor, let's go. You go through here. Doctor Strange.
He looks good too. He looks a bit beefy, but I mean, it's got that like Marvel versus Capcom feel to it, where like it is supposed to be hyper exaggerated. You know,
it is very Marvel versus Capcom. Freaking Groot.
I love Groot.
Looks like something straight out of Warcraft. Like, seriously, like old school Warcraft vibes. Like, this is some of the. They even brought some of the different skins from the MCU, and it's like every single character here pops. Now, if you want to bring up X-Men, let's start with. Oh, let me show you Adam. Yeah.
Oh, Adam.
That's Adam.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Cool. It's Adam. Yeah. It's like absolutely great. It's like every character is represented. Now, one caveat, Iron Fist. Let me bring up Iron Fist. That is not Danny Rand. It's
no, that's
whoever
that's Swordmaster.
Yeah,
whoever was.
That was Alyssa Wong's creation.
Yeah,
that was Alyssa Wong's creation. The one who.
Why I got blocked by her and Greg Pak on the Twitters because I had said, "What's wrong with Danny Rand?"
So as far as Marvel goes, we got magic. First is magic. I'm a sucker for torn pantyhose. So, but yeah. Magic looks great.
Yeah,
magic looks freaking great.
So if you like the goth look, what do you think?
I do like that.
You know I love a good goth look, especially with how they've got they look like they have accents of red, but then they also have the shading with red, so it's giving like this glow. Yeah, it's giving glowing vibes, and I like
Dude,
that.
we get.
Ooh, wow.
Magneto.
I love me a good Magneto.
Magnus looks sick.
I'm actually a fan of his white costume look
Mm-hmm.
from the X-Men days. Like, I'm glad he went back to red, but
Yeah.
the red and purple. But I mean that white suit he had, that was pretty killer. I liked it with the X on the belt.
That reminds me too much of Onslaught from Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
This is the black one. Let's see who else. Who else? Mantis looks great. Just like every character really generally looks great. They did give us a proper. They did give us Moon Knight. That's a nice Moon
really
Knight.
nice.
Yes.
Yeah. I love Moon Knight. He looks such a great character.
Mm-hmm.
The Fist of Khonshu book is pretty good right now that Jed McKay is doing.
Yeah,
it was better than the last one he did.
And then Mr. Knight.
Yeah, from the MCU.
This is just a shooter game, so it's not a
hero shooter.
It's a hero shooter.
Third person hero shooter.
Namor.
Oh God!
Yes, they brought the Namor.
I hate
Black Panther.
Oh, there we go.
No!
He's not suffering from shrinkage from being in all that cold water. What the fuck?
Thing is, I hate what they did to Namor and Wakanda Forever, because it's like you guys got to feel terrible because you're Mexican, even though you weren't alive when the Spaniards came to this time.
But it's kind of funny thing with Rivals, because like with some characters they really stay true to the designs. With others, they really kind of like, okay, they see it as a blank template. Let's see what we can come up with.
Mm-hmm.
This Penny. This is freaking Penny Parker from the Spider-Verse. Like, that is completely different. It's very Diva-like. I love it. That's part of my
It's very Eva kind of suit too.
And very Eva, Evangelion style. But yeah, they did.
This is Evangelion, but this is supposed to be Venom.
Yeah, symbiote. Yeah, it's supposed to be a symbiote-like, and I love that. Of course, Psylocke. The base outfit is of course Peach Momoko's. Momoko's Psylocke, basically.
All right.
Yeah. Wow. I really love the Shinobi style look. It really says that how she's a ninja
in the comics. Yeah, and
I like the purple on the blade.
Then the one I did, that was the Vengeance. That's the one I did.
Closer to her her second design there.
Yeah,
the better. See, and she's got heels, which is accentuating her buttocks. I don't mean to say that in an objectifying way, but
no, it's fantastic, and it really does work. It really does work. Like every character just looks like.
Yeah, I love
Rocket looks great.
Yeah, I love the scraggly.
Rocket looks
great.
Good,
yeah, I love the scraggly, mangy kind of look he has in that, like, and how like they emphasize he has a mohawk in the center of his head.
Yes, they emphasize that this is from Guardians Volume 3. They do such a great job. So let me find. So we got. This is probably the one that I thought was overly designed, and that is Scarlet Witch. That's Wanda. I am too much going on. I think that's how I say it. Too much going on with Wanda on this one.
So I think personally her hair waits out her jacket look. Like they should have either brought the jacket / cape down, or they should have tied her hair back. Otherwise, it's too much. And especially those boots on the other one, the boots had way too much detail on. I could barely even see half of it.
Yeah, with the yeah, that's the standard design. Of course, this is from Mom, Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange Mom. And then let me see if I can find other ones. Of course, Spidey's got like a couple of them with Yeah,
Oh, the
he gets the
Scarlet
Kane.
Spider.
Yeah, he gets the Kane Parker Scarlet Spider.
That is nice.
Of course, yeah. No Way Home. I was thinking the No Way Home look, which is pretty cool. Is what he's fighting like, Sandman there. Yeah, this is No Way Home. Really authentic, and I think that is really, really great. Like really great, authentic with that.
Yeah,
they even get the Bagman.
Baghead.
Yeah, they get the Bagman.
Bombastic Bagman.
They should have done the Fantastic Four Bagman, in my personal opinion.
Oh, fuck.
I like the design of the Chasm suit. And I like the color combination.
I really hate what they did to Ben Reilly, but I do like the Chasm suit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know.
And then this is the one that set the entire internet just. I can't tell you how much fan art I've seen of Squirrel Girl up to this point. It's endless.
Yeah. What do you think? People are in love with her.
But I mean, look, she's wearing flats, so she's got no flexion on her calves.
No flexion.
You know,
she is like.
I'm just like I've been noticing. So there we go. Now we have a heel. Now we have a little bit more flexion on the calf. I like that attention to detail. It's amazing.
I love that. This is Star-Lord. This is old, which I really like.
I actually do like it. I like the coat. I like the coats in this.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of a very big nod. This is from Guardians 3, although it doesn't kind of look like.
Yeah, he doesn't have the coat. Like
he doesn't have the coat. And this is more classic looking Star-Lord. Okay. And then we get to this is my favorite design.
Oh,
it's my favorite one.
Is it your African goddess?
Yes. I love this. I love it. I love every single detail. I love it.
She looks wonderful.
She is gorgeous in this. Absolutely gorgeous. Sorry. Sorry.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say I really, really, really love the movement they added to the cape by adding it connecting to the back and then going down to the arms. It just works with her, especially because she's a storm, and with it can encompass that. That and the little flyaways, it really adds to it. And I like that they're going the opposite direction of her hair.
They did her so well. They even brought the.
That's nice.
Yeah, the 90s, 80s Mohawk pumper look.
Mohawk is fantastic. I love the Mohawk look. And then they did the animated series. They did us right. They did us 90s. They did us 90s fans right. Giving us a solid animated series inspired look. I love this. Love it.
Punisher. I just love the Punisher design. It reminds me of War Journal or Suicide Run.
He is incredibly bulky, incredibly stocky. This.
Oh, that's pretty cool too.
Oh, yeah, $20.99.
That's all right with me. Yeah.
It looks like a brute. It looks like a gun-toting brute. The Thunderbolts.
Oh yeah,
which is
Code Red. Thunderbolts, Cold Red.
Thunderbolts, Cold Red, and then finally a camo, which
yeah. And I'm just glad they didn't go with Diet Frank.
Yeah.
No, I'm happy they gave us. I'm happy that they gave us a. They actually gave him the logo too.
Yeah, they
went with Thunder Thor.
They went with Frank Castle, not Diet Frank. Oh, I love the Midgard look.
The Midgards look great. Yeah, this is a great looking Thor. Like I do think that if we got a further continuation, I could see Chris Hemsworth looking more like that with the Thor films continuing. This is my second favorite. This is my second favorite. It is like, I think people don't understand. I think people miss that Venom is supposed to be like, he's supposed to be tall. He is supposed to be imposing. He is supposed to be like incredibly intimidating.
Yeah,
when Eddie Brock puts the suit on.
Yeah, because Eddie Brock is bigger than Peter.
And we get the anti-venom.
Oh, yes. Yes, I love the anti-venom suit.
So, oh my god, it looks great.
I just love the details, how they have like the symbiote, going around.
Mm-hmm. It's fantastic. Yes, we spoke on Winter Soldier. The green does not. The green just simply doesn't work. The green just simply doesn't work. You could have just kept it with the black, kept it with the solid black and gray color scheme.
Revolution.
Yeah. Oh, fuck that. Sorry.
What's that from? I'm just curious now.
That is from the most recent Thunderbolts, and oh gosh, it was awful. It was some Stephanie Phillips shit. And really? He got a new identity where he infiltrated some kind of. He had a heel turn, which of course wasn't, real. Wait, I don't want to talk over Logan.
This one is the most mixed design, though.
Yeah,
it's very mixed. Like,
Sylph, hang on. I want to get Sylph's impression on this.
It's very much so giving. It's reminding me a lot of his original design. And I like that when in the video, like when he's moving down, it even knows that by paying homage to the original like cowl shape that it had. I don't hate it, but I'm not like, oh my god about it. You know what I mean?
I feel like I get like a Teenage Logan vibe, honestly.
Yes, 100%. 100%. It looks like he's enjoying the 80s right now.
Yeah, exactly.
The white boots and the inverted colors on the jacket.
This is from Deadpool Wolverine.
That's fine. That looks that's very
that's good look.
Iconic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. With the blue and yellow and everything, and then
he's only got 3.
A lone wolf. Yeah. So
I want Bone Claws and Feral.
Yeah.
I know. We need let me go back. Let me go back to Black Widow, because I know I know Eric was really bringing up with Black Widow. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, all you need is like actual traditional Black Widow like suit with the yellowish cuffs.
Great muscle tone. Great bust, great buttocks, nice hips. You know what I mean? Just like that's super heroic. Super heroine.
I also love how they always emphasize her shape by having the racing stripes down her body. It's a very nice touch every time.
Yeah, it looks great. I mean, I'm glad they didn't put like Widow the symbiote. Do you know about that one?
Oh, yeah.
It was like what, she's training the symbiote to be like her. Like, I don't get.
I did not like that comic book, but then I did like
Stephanie Phillips book. Yeah.
Yeah, but then I did like the Venom War after that Stephanie Phillips book.
This is definitely a more futuristic look.
Oh,
that wasn't a Thor. That was that's Steve.
The prehistoric. I think that was the whole prehistoric Avengers or something like that.
That's interesting.
That is one that's interesting.
He looked like a Gundam.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the cast for now. Like, that's casting on. I forgot to mention that. Yeah.
Hello. Hurt me.
Yes. Yes, I'm with you because
once again, Ragnarok. I love Ragnarok.
Yeah. I'm thinking about her first appearance of Ragnarok. I'm like,
oh gosh, she was so great. And Carl Urban was in that too. Come on, that movie does not suck.
Yes, we do get old. Well, they had to cover that up because if you remember Ultimate Hela, the Ultimate Son, yeah.
I remember she was.
Is there a Danny Rand skin? No.
We can't.
I mean, the whole thing that Stephanie Wong wanted to do an authentic, and I'm doing this with quotation marks.
Mhm.
An authentic Iron Man or Iron Fist means that she had to race swap Danny Rand.
Jeff is so. Everybody, Jeff is
I
so
like Jeff.
adorable.
Yeah,
He's so popular now. You made
Yeah.
Jeff mainstream now.
And
I don't think
John's
anybody hates
biggest thing. Oh my
Oh.
the aficionados, they hate Jeff.
Oh,
They love. I like Jeff, and they bust my
Adorable.
balls every time. I'm like, like if it's Jeff, like there was a Venom War. It's Jeff, a tie-in at one shot where Jeff gets a symbiote and then ends up getting along with the symbiote. They go to the beach. They have a good time, and I'm like, this was a terrible Jeff book because it was like, oh, it works better when there's less dialogue and less word balloons. And it's just more like an old newspaper funny.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Fantastic Loki.
that's a really
It's
nice
a
Loki.
shame. It's a shame that Stone Loki doesn't like it.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, Stone Loki doesn't like it though.
Loki
I
does
haven't
not like
Loki
Loki.
doesn't like it. No, it's like what?
I haven't been by Valhalla in a while.
It's such weird. I'm showing it to Loki, and it's like he doesn't like it. It's like why though? It's like it's authentic though. It is authentic, and then we'll also end us, and that's all the characters here. Like I said,
Yeah.
Luna Snow comes from. I think she comes from Future Flight.
Honestly, this could use Miss Marvel because she actually has an interesting power set.
Bro.
I don't mind Kamala Khan one bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bro, like
I
I
know.
can't tell you how amazing they could make Carol look in this. Like I'm dead
Yeah.
serious.
Like I saw that the plans for this, they're going to add like the Fantastic Four, Deadpool, and Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, Nova.
Kamala's gonna look great.
Yeah.
Like they're going to do a lot of the characters. They're going to do them justice.
Yeah, I fully agree. I really agree. I completely agree. Okay, going on to the next topic. Soph,
Sorry.
I brought you in for this because you are my resident D&D expert.
Hey yo.
Uh-oh.
All right. So
Interesting
Hasbro.
too, because you're so young. I mean,
I've been a DM. So I was a DM when I was 12 for a bunch of my friends. Yeah. Fun fact, we were a whole stoner clique and everything. So it was like literally pass around while doing a session.
Yeah.
And I was a DM for that. And that was hectic because it was a bunch of new people that had never even heard of D&D. So we had to write off a couple rules here and there.
Yeah.
I was like, how does it feel to be like the youngest dungeon master now? That's the young. I've never met. I never met any game masters this young either. So
what edition did you start with?
I literally just I think I started with 3rd edition.
Okay.
okay, good. Okay, good. You're
Yeah.
you're safe. Okay,
Oh, that's
I was
good.
afraid-
That's
no,
good
no.
because
I was afraid you were gonna say 5e.
Yeah.
No.
because that would have been because Mr. Bruce Lombardo
Bruce, yeah.
would have
I
just
just used whatever book I could borrow from the school library because they had a small. I was grateful my librarian was a big nerd herself, and she had a small little corner which had Teen Titans comics, couple mangas, and then some D&D books.
Yeah, because if you said 5e, Bruce got D&D head we know.
I think it would have somehow summoned Bruce to the chat.
Yeah. The 50-year-old plumber from Texas would have came in
I
and
can
raged
feel
on
his
you.
anger. It's 5e is what's getting them in trouble, by the way.
Yeah.
Just giving you a heads
Yes,
up. It's what's getting
100%.
Watsy in big
All
trouble.
right, so
Well.
like it's been a bad year for Hasbro. Like
They
first-
did it to themselves.
Yeah, first with the
Did
50th.
they-
First with the
Yeah.
50th.
Did they lose? I'm sorry. Did they lose the Transformer license?
No, they give the Transformers license. IDW lost the Transformers.
Oh, okay. That was IDW.
Yeah.
because
Okay.
of and then Skybound Image, Kirkman got it.
Yeah. So first they disrespected the founders in their 50th anniversary.
That's fucked.
It
And
is
this-
messed up.
they brought the wrath of the original founding three, Steve Kuntz, who called them a bunch of aggravated soy boys who are basically the same type of people who thought they were better than them when they were in college. Only they vote for the different party. Then
even Elon told him to rot in hell, and I'm like, damn,
yeah.
that's insane.
And then they decided to treat D&D like a video game using self-monetization. And on top of that, they decided to change the race of the warrior from the Red Box edition, saying that it was a woman all along. It was a woman all along, even though the artist said it was actually a man.
Because nothing brings out the racisms and biases and use toxic fandoms like are like gender and race swaps. You know, just bring it out in you and your racisms and your phobias and your ists, and you know what I mean. Just these are helpful tools.
And as a cherry on the controversy Sunday, they fired 50% of their staff before Christmas. Again.
And don't they have plans to replace a certain percentage of them with AI?
Yeah, pretty much. People who work on AI.
Flippin' hate that one. That's like a real kick in the nuts for me personally.
That has to be probably one of the scummiest things to do. I'm serious. I think that is one of the scummiest things to do is to fire your employees before Christmas, before the holiday season.
Yeah. This is the second year in a row. This is the second year in a row they've done this. Okay, but first, like, these are just two of the worst stories I have heard. First one is going to be Hasbro basically just kicked it off with one of the worst things that they could do. They did a Konami.
Okay, what, turn it into a Pachinko slot?
Hasbro and WotC are teaming up with Global Gaming to make D&D slot machines.
Yeah, pulling a picture. Yeah.
And okay, so here we go. Here we go. Let me pull this up so we can see this. And this is actually from Inside Businesses. Okay. Inside Gaming Businesses or iGaming Business. Okay. Games Global unveils an exciting partnership with Hasbro. Dungeons and Dragons tells of riches amongst highly anticipated iGaming IP releases for 2025.
Yep.
Games Global is leading supplier of iGaming content and have partnered with leading toys and games company Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast division. First release of the collaboration will be slated in the Q1 2005. Dungeons and Dragons Tales of Riches, Neon Valley Studios creation is inspired by the legendary fantasy Dungeons and Dragons. Further iGaming products are based on Dungeons and Dragons planned for the future as part of multi-gaming collaborations, i.e., multiple slot machines across Vegas and Atlantic City. Celebrating the 50th year in its 2004, captivated fans for Dungeons D&D captivated fans for generations cultural phenomenons. As part of Hasbro's year-long celebration of this milestone, Games Global will harness the world of the greatest role-playing game to create immersive, high engagement slot experience, giving operators a chance to tap into a global fan base. The partnership with Hasbro will see Games Global diversify their brand of content portfolio as it continues to deliver premium games, i.e. slot machines, that offer players entirely unique, memorable experience. Andy Bluth, Chief Product Officer of Gaming Global, the Hasbro brand is global transcendence. The toys, the games, and So it goes without saying, Gaming Global is incredibly proud to announce the multi-content partnership, i.e. gambling sites. Players can look forward to themed games, i.e. slot machines, or in their case, also digital poker.
So how does this
Being game to incorporate some of the world's most iconic brands, and these titles are undoubtedly proved successful to our valued operators. First of many exciting releases in this collaborations, the Dungeons and Dragons slot will combine Hasbro's world-building legacy and Games Global enterprise expertise programming to deliver a game to engages, entertains, transports players into new realms of fantasy. Duh.
So how does it work? It's like so are you pulling? So I assume playing a slot machine. That's how you roll 20, right? You just like these three numbers has to match up to 20 or something like that, right? Is that how?
So
yes.
Roll, right? Self, I know you're the youngest, but you're also the biggest D&D expert, the greatest D&D expert I know. Your thoughts?
So if it is going based off of how Makini said, I know a decent amount of slot machines myself personally. Fams from Las Vegas and stuff like that, so I've ran around the casinos a lot. It is just a blatant money grab. So are they going to do it like how they have other games where it's just basically the faces of certain characters on it and you just get money?
Pretty much.
Okay, so yeah, they admitted it's just a blatant money grab, and they do see us as D&D people are money to them, which is a real shame because D&D originally it blossomed on simply pure creativity. Like as a kid, I didn't have a bunch of elite stuff. I remember the game pieces were soda tabs with like bottle caps on it, and I hand drew the entire board myself, and we handmade all the character sheets and everything, and it was quite a bit. It was a bit of homebrew, not gonna lie, but it was still D&D, and it didn't require any expensive stuff, not a lot of money. Like, I understand it's cool to have all the figurines and then have all the table,
Right.
especially for being actually tabletop and not on the computer. Like, my latest campaign with my friends has been on the computer, and that's, it's a different world. It's the Wild West out there with that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't even give me any like vice. It's like, okay, cool. So if I want to go gamble, I guess now I get to look at some orcs' faces. Like, I don't see any appeal to it. What's so flippin' ever?
It's a lifestyle. This is a lifestyle brand now. It's a lifestyle brand.
Yeah. Basically,
you had the D&D cookbooks.
Well, the D&D cookbook was actually a kind of a good idea.
I understand that, but this whole thing of Dirty Dungeons and Dragons is a lifestyle brand, and appealing it to getting rid of the older audience.
This box of Jello and this ice cube tray, and you're gonna make an army of gelatinous cubes. Come with me.
And what I find just absolutely just amusing to me is them just shrugging off WotC and Hasbro. And are just like shrugging off the older fans. They're basically saying, they're putting disclaimers that what we had back in the day is not akin to our current values now. So basically, just throwing Ernie Gygax, Ernie and Gary Gygax under the bus. Basically throwing everyone under the bus back there, appeal to the.
It's shameful. They don't have any shame because if they had any shame, they'd feel it.
Appeal to the quote unquote modern audiences, basically self.
I wish for you. Go ahead, Seth.
If they wanted to do a proper reach out to Gen Z and our generation, they should have I like where Dungeon Menchie was. They could have done something along the lines of Dungeon Menchie. It was very enjoyable, and yes, you can create all the merch you want of it, but it still felt akin to what we grew up with and why we began loving D&D. It wasn't just, oh, look at this cool that, look at this cool this. It's creating a story that you can enjoy with others, not
Yeah,
just looking at cool figurines.
yeah. And speaking about Dungeon Meshi, they could have incorporated that. They could have incorporated that with a cookbook.
Mm-hmm.
If
Like it would be fine. Like it would be totally fine if it was just, hey, we want to bring in a new audience, so we're creating a new form of D&D, a way to introduce to a new audience. You could have done that. It would have been totally fine. But no, that's not what you did.
that's not the
You
point of
did
it.
that
Yeah.
while at the same time crapping on everything before it.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Disrespecting everything before it. That's what gets
Uh-huh.
me, is the sheer disrespect.
No.
The public denunciation of everything that Ernie and Gary Gygax created for D&D. Everything that these people who said before you, without them, you wouldn't even have D&D.
Exactly. I mean, like as an outsider looking in, I hope and I know that out there's got to be a vast digital library where you can go and you can print up anything from first, second, third editions and enjoy the game the way it was meant to be enjoyed before all of the intersection of real life neediness, of activist neediness. Like, see, I'm thinking like if I was a dungeon master, I would purposefully target your wheelchair bound, group members. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And make them like I would, because that's like the easiest way to make your party suffer is the weakest link in a chain is always the weakest link. A chain,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah, I know. It's just that doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, okay, the wheelchair bound thing. It's like, okay, you
It
do
makes no
realize
sense.
this is fantasy.
Yeah,
This
it is fantasy. And the
I
power of
mean-
fantasies, and it's like eventually it's like you have to like it's going to turn into a superhero fantasy literally because
Yeah.
for everyone to be able to, you're going to need to be able to levitate or even fly to negotiate your geography and for traps and everything. And just
Exactly.
if everyone can fly, then you turn into a superhero trope.
yeah, and
Yeah, exactly. And the thing that the thing is now I'm just learning meeting Sylph, and I'm just like you just be grateful that you're not in the creator space at D&D, because if you do not know this, Sylph, WotC screwed the creators over with OCR.
yes.
I
They-
did learn of that through Bendito, actually. He
Yeah.
told me at work one day, and I remember I had to sit there and be like, you're at work, keep that smile on, guests are here, because it took everything in me to not just start a long string of curse words, because it's like I partially knew at some point this was going to happen, especially with the key signs Hasbro's been showing lately,
Mhm.
but I didn't think it would be happening this soon,
Yeah, and
Big
they
jump.
got so much, and I think that's probably the point where you can see the downfall. You can see where the downfall of Hasbro comes from, is the whole OCR debacle.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Like, they want to cut. Like, okay, I get that because it's your creation, you want to cut, but you having like final say on, you
The art
having
in someone's sketchbook?
control on just an original and even a completely original creation that may be derived from D&D or may have some inspiration from D&D.
or they use the same game system as D&D.
Mm-hmm.
There is a website I think it actually got taken down recently because I haven't been able to access it. It's
Mhm.
called Dungeons, Dares, and Wares. It was what Sully was mentioning. It's got all the editions, like all the layouts you can find for every edition, and you could print them, and you'd be
Yes.
able to glue them
That's the
onto a
way.
map. But now to my knowledge, it's actually been taken down.
Oh,
Yeah,
they got to stay underground.
Like
You
because
gotta,
of copyright.
So, yeah, exactly. But stay underground. I mean, and never let that die, because I mean that's the only way to enjoy the true spirit of the game. I mean, I only played D&D once in my life. It was like 30 years ago, and I was with a borrowed character, but I had fun, and it was just like, and it was we were just at a kitchen table, and we played for hours. And
Yeah.
it was like there was no radios, no TVs. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? It was pencil and paper and dice.
Yeah.
And so
Ew.
I would strongly advise you to stay far away from any like reprints
Yes.
because
Okay.
you know what's going to happen.
It's getting copyrighted.
No, they're going to be
They're gonna be
editing stuff.
redacted.
They're going to be editing. Like if reprints of like first edition stuff, you know that they're going to be editing stuff out.
Sensitivity readers.
Wow,
But
I'm
yeah.
like these
sensitivity.
Oh.
reproductions of these books.
I didn't even
swear-
think about that.
I told Stealth about this, about when, like, the sensitivity readers, like, they say, like, words like colony, fat, barbarian,
Slave.
Yeah.
Like the orcs that had the leeches on their heads.
Yeah.
That's like honestly one of
Half-breeds.
my favorite
What's
designs.
the thing with half breeds? Why is that wrong? Why
Yeah,
are these people
also half
wrong?
breed. They took out half breed or racist or
But
racist.
that's
Why are
how
you
you
why are you
describe someone.
constituting?
Yes.
Why are you constituting orcs as black people when it's you who is the one who is making that?
Yes.
Who is making that statement? Who
Right.
is thinking that?
Why are you thinking that goblins are Jewish people? Because
Right!
stereotypical physical attributes? That's bullshit. We're talking about classic freaking fictional race, non-human fantasy things. Come on.
And that whole thing with the goblin, and the whole thing with the goblins Jewish correlation that goes double. That the same thing is in Harry Potter as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they pulled that. They pulled that card.
Yeah. Well, not only are the greedy capitalists capitalizing on D&D, but also the misguided left, as I like to call them, the far left, who are the misguided left, who think they're One of them actually had one of the D&D writers had an anti-colonialist rant.
But this is based on medieval times where colonization was a key factor in how people gained power against lands. It's not right. They're not stating it 100% as right. It's just what happened.
Yeah, and this is
You know what? This is gonna be the most controversial thing I might say on this channel.
Say
This
it.
may be the most controversial thing. None of us would even be here if Christopher Columbus didn't discover America. Okay.
Okay.
Don't give me this colonialist crap. Okay.
All right.
I'm so sick of it. I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm indigenous, so
I'm indigenous, but I understand. But just like I'm so sick of this whole colonialist.
Yeah, Silt's a mutt. He's
colonized.
Yeah, I'm
Silt's
a
a
mutt. I
mutt.
like to call myself a mutt.
Piss off.
Silt is a mutt. He is like the whitest person I've met, but then he's like, I'm part Native American too. I'm like, what?
Sorry. It's just that's the whole colonizer thing I keep hearing all the time, and it's like that's not an argument.
All right. The new D&D Dungeons and Dragons supplement delivers a rant on anti-colonial gameplay, asking players avoid narrow morality against monster races like gnolls.
It's been a rough year for D&D players.
I think you should let Silk read that again. I think you should read that again so Silk can understand.
Let me read it in my distended in my really offensive voice. New Dungeons and Dragons supplements delivers rants on anti-colonial play, asking players to avoid narrow morality against monsters races like gnolls. That just shows that you're a bigot when you do that. You're a big stinky bum too.
This is what you call watering down. This is watering down.
Self, are you speechless? This is
yeah.
This is the first time for me.
I'm so sorry.
Why bother conquering another land? Why bother fighting? What's the use? It's all about resources.
This is sorry, Sully, but this is a first for me. Sylph always has a comeback in something, but this is
Yeah,
the
I
first
always
one.
get some quip. I'm like, because like, correct me if I'm wrong, but most of you can have a very, very tame homebrew. Like there are a couple homebrews, or at very least a couple campaigns I've heard about where it's like, yeah, let's just own a tavern and enjoy the tavern. But a large majority of D&D campaigns has to do with adventuring, which a lot of soft people could see us colonizing, because you're going around killing some people.
It's Dungeons and Dragons. It's an adventure. That's
right. Like it's an adventure. Like the whole point of it is going places, meeting the bad people or the people you deem bad and wrong, and seeing how you or your character would go about that, and seeing as how your friends' characters react and go about that.
Yeah.
And
they-
also, like, you want to be a bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
want to
was
make
saying also there's morally
choices.
gray, there's morally chaotic. Like it's not just all about being the hero at the end of the day.
Like, you should be able to be the bad guy and live out those like choices in this safe space of the gameplay. You know, geez, that's like, because that's what they're there for. They're, you know, they are power fantasy. They're escapism, but also it's like, here's a weird, you know, what was the major draw of Sopranos was because you had a main character who's making choices that are awful. He's cheating on his wife. He is a criminal. He is murdering people. But how popular is Tony Soprano? Seriously, I mean, he's some kind of, he's an avatar, a safe space for you to be a witness, to have this emotional experience, to see like what would it be to be a criminal, a sociopath, you know, and that's what D&D offers as well. You don't have to be a good guy.
Yeah.
Oh, my character certainly is. I'm currently playing a Kenku that has was raised by trolls and has a hyperfixation on eating dead things.
Okay.
All right. So
can I bring a list? Can I just list off a couple of things?
Is it a numbered list?
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna go busy.
Okay.
Doom, Daikatana, Quake, Call of Cthulhu, Warhammer, Baldur's Gate, Dragon Age, Elden Ring. You know what a lot of those have in common?
Yeah.
They were inspired by Dungeons and Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Let me listen to a couple of names: Tim Duncan, Stephen Colbert, Vin Diesel, Robin Williams. Critical Role, Dimension 20, The Adventure Zone. All were big fans of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, especially Vin Diesel. He actually, one of his co-stars, like this is one thing. One of his co-stars from Chronicles of Riddick, he taught her. She played the Elemental. He taught her how to play Dungeons and Dragons, and she started having a weekly game with her grandchildren, and she plays the Dungeon Master.
Oh, I also forgot Elder Scrolls. Yeah, inspired by D&D as well.
Hollow Knight as well as it's not as heavily inspired, but the original thought behind it was originally a campaign in its own right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What about The Witcher?
The Witcher, oh my
Witcher,
rage.
yeah.
Classic.
The Witcher, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's look at this. John. This comes from John F. JFD from Fandom Pulse. All right, Dungeons and Dragons have moved into woke territory to determinate the players of 2024's new edition, and now supplement the Forge of Foes by Sky Flourish turns the adventure into an anti-colonialism rant to further push woke politics. Yeah, don't care about that, but I think it's just the whole thing about the woke politics. But
Who wrote this, Trent?
No,
It's just the whole thing with the anti-colonialism colonialism rant that it's just like
I
are you
actually like
serious?
this art right here. I actually like this.
You do.
'Cause-
It's like great art,
Yeah,
Yes.
but
and
it's wasted.
yeah, like in Dungeons and Dragons in the Forgotten Realms, there are peaceful orc tribes, and
Yeah.
if you want to play a peaceful orc, you could play a peaceful orc. There are, but I mean, if they're doing this like to like show that that Indian that they could get that they could try to get Indians
Indigenous tribes and such like that.
and indigenous tribes and Mexicans to play Dungeons and Dragons. Newsflash, they already do.
They've been doing it a lot longer. You don't really need to pander to them.
Yeah. I mean,
Like
I love
the whole the orcs. Like it doesn't like it's like when they tried to it's like they tried to make the orcs sympathetic in season 2 of Rings of Power. It's like
yes.
that was not the case in Tolkien's books.
Yes. And the orcs never gave birth.
Exactly.
Right,
Like
God, the freaking thing about this whole thing that is bringing up is that these people, they're getting rid of the best content creators and bringing in these activist content creators, and now it actually got Elon Musk mad. And if Elon Musk gets the hands on Hasbro and Dungeons of Dragon, we're all screwed.
okay, I'm gonna tell you guys something.
All
I'm gonna
right,
tell
go
you guys
ahead.
something. And it was the same thing. Same thing I saw with the whole Avowed situation. If you guys bring it up.
Okay.
Oh yes.
Look at this. I want you to pay close attention to this, because Elon, when he tweets about anything pop culture or video game related, it's going to go viral. It's going to get people talking. If you get Elon Musk to actually speak up or say something about it, you're in trouble. That's how much power and influence he has at this point.
Yeah. I mean, this whole thing about Dungeons and Dragons being an anti-colonialist.
Sorry, that just makes me giggle. It's like you're tickling my feet when you say that. Anti-colonial. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's just your opinion. You don't have to have it like that. I mean, the thing about Dungeons and Dragons is the limit is your imagination.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, Sylph, I know you love Dungeons and Dragons, and you don't want to see it. You don't want to see it go down the same path as so many other things that went down. I mean, what would you do if you were offered a chance to work with these current content creators at Wizards of the Coast? Would you take it up, or would you tell them would you bring in your own team who love the game?
If I'm given the option to, I'm bringing in a team. And if they ask why, I'm going to look at them and I'll say, y'all had enough chances and y'all decided to fumble not once, not twice, not 3, but 6 separate times. And that's like within the last year or so. So can we please just get some new fresh eyes in here and some people that'll stop saying yes men's and kissing your butt, and some that'll actually look at you and say, no, why are we doing this? That's not a good idea. Can we actually look at our fan base and understand who we're pandering to? You don't even have to pick a generation. You just have to look at the fact that these people enjoy the fantasy, the stories.
Exactly.
And stop
Leaving
making
Earth.
about money.
Yeah, and
So
I think they'll listen. Hang on, Mackie. And I'm going to say this, but I'm not saying this to be mean, because if you say that to them, I think they'll listen to you because you're a trans man, pansexual, but if I say that to them, they won't listen to me because
I also am extremely white passing, so that does play in my favor a lot too.
Use blackface then.
And I guarantee you what's going to happen.
What?
Sylph is going to F around and make the next Critical Role.
Yes.
end up becoming the next Critical Role.
I appreciate the faith in me. Jeez. Oh.
I'm just saying, because Critical Role got a lot, and I mean a lot of new people into new younger generations into Dungeons and Dragons.
It did, and then it went and ran all the way into Vox Machina, and now it's on top of that. Now it's not even just drawing in D&D people into D&D. It's drawing people at the very least into all the story of it, and it's giving those amazing people that are celebrities who do love D&D the actual appreciation they deserve.
Yeah, and one of the things is that they don't not only use the D&D play the D&D rules. The first season they used Pathfinder, and
Pathfinder rules. Yep.
Yeah, and now they're going to use Daggerstar with their next campaign. So it's like you don't. It's like if you don't like the rules from D&D, there's Pathfinder. If you want to play a sci-fi version of D&D, there's Cyberpunk. If you want to play, Soul, you're gonna like this. If you want to play a tabletop version of Star Trek, there is a tabletop version of Star Trek.
I want the woke one that has Captain Mikey, please.
D&D has always flourished on homebrew.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, there's even a Smallville tabletop game.
It's like there's no the thing that WotC and Hasbro, they fail to understand and is that the D&D IP has created so many alternatives to they don't have to rely on the past. They don't have to rely on the current editions. They can rely on the past editions. They don't have to succumb to 5e. They can use Pathfinder. They can use any other. They can use any other IP, any other game for this.
Yeah, but
it just sucks if you're a player and you show up to a match or something, and that like this whole thing like with Warhammer, or even D&D, it's like, oh, we can only use the authorized versions of this because it's all licensed.
Yeah,
and it's just that's how fun is that? This is supposed to be fun.
Yeah, and even so much now, even Warhammer is starting to get compromised, and that is one of the most that is probably one of the most hard-nosed, hardcore fandoms out there. It's impenetrable. It is impenetrable.
One of the
the elite of D&D went on to Warhammer. Right? That's what I think.
Yeah, you're talking about when you're talking about Warhammer, I'm your guy, because Warhammer, like, I told this to Sylph, and he's always trying to that only men can be Space Marines, and he's always trying to comprehend why does that work? And I'm like, don't think about it too much.
Because we said so.
No, I'm not arguing. I just don't get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
one
established lore. The lore is already set in stone. So having a change like this with the female custodians being completely out of left field, that was never explained in the lore, that was never even established in the lore beforehand, and then all of a sudden you just say, oh, during like the first generation there were female custodians. It's like, wait, that wasn't. It's just like,
but one of the things is like, I explained this to Sylph, is that one of the things is that they use that with Space Marines, they use the gene seed, and the gene seed are basically DNA, is basically DNA from the Primarchs, and the Primarchs were all men. So they could only bond with men, but it's not always going to work. Like, out of say 10,000 people go into to be a Space Marine, they all get bonded with gene seed. Only 10 of them will come out as Space Marines.
Yeah. The pool is very limited. It is
Yeah, we're geeks, salty traveling sea.
yeah.
Geeks and nerds.
Yeah, it's just like you look at this and you look at it, you wonder like now Games Workshop is in trouble, and just all the things like the most impenetrable, what was seen as the most impenetrable fortress that is Dungeons and Dragons is now being compromised. Like honestly, you have to look deep within and ask yourself,
Oh my god!
who wants to play as this?
You brought that up.
I'm sorry.
God.
I'm sorry.
Okay, there are disabled space marines.
There is, but
That is the most appropriate vehicle for.
this is what you call heresy, okay? This is heresy. I'm not even Warhammer, and I'm
All
like, this
There
is heresy.
are disabled space marines, but they're
There
called
have to be.
dreadnoughts. They walk around in what are called living coffins.
What about power suits?
Those are basic. They amputate their arms and their legs, and they keep them in stable condition so they can still fight. That is a disabled space marine.
Yes,
I mean, they're lacking limbs. That sums it up best.
Yeah.
but
so-
a disabled black LGBTQ
Morbidly
Rainbow
obese.
Warrior.
morbid obese.
I didn't realize what was funny until I zoomed in on your icon.
Like,
It was.
And then, like again, like when it comes to like, y'all end up RoboCop because you're not going to need your body fat. You're not going to need your limbs. You're just going to need your circulatory nervous system
mm-hmm.
patched into to an armor.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the
they're putting
point?
They're basically putting you on life support right now.
Yeah, you're gonna be RoboCop. I mean,
you
what's
serve
the
no
point?
purpose. You serve no purpose whatsoever. Okay, like people forget to think. People really can't grasp the fact that Warhammer. You think this is a universe where everything is effed.
Everything's it's a terrible universe.
Every character
it's not a
is
safe space.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
D&D and Warhammer share something. It is not a safe space. And what activist mentalities need is a safe space to exist.
You dedicate your entire life from birth up until grave serving the Emperor, depending on which faction you're in. You're into.
Yeah. Well, there's more to that. If you we're born human, you serve the Emperor. If you're Tau, you're a brainwashed commie who serves the greater good.
Yes.
If you are an orc, you just do what you do and have fun doing it, and that's mostly fighting.
This universe is literally effed. Okay.
Yeah. If
like,
you're
this would make cyberpunk. Warhammer makes cyberpunk look like a safe space. Okay.
Yes.
We need to make Warhammer a safe space. We need to make a dungeon a safe space. How ridiculous is that notion? We need to make a dungeon a safe space.
It's a dungeon.
Dragons a safe space.
It's a dungeon. What is safe about a dungeon?
A dungeon is yeah.
We're not even gonna go there, but come on now.
Yeah.
I would like to also.
Go ahead, Phil.
Go ahead, Phil.
I was gonna say I would like to also argue that in its own right, these like own settings, it doesn't. I'm not saying it has to be a safe space in game, but as players ourselves, letting us have that freedom to do that is a safe space in its own right. Like,
yeah,
allowing that, like Dungeons and Dragons, you didn't have to like. Everyone had to confide to what was morally right. Y'all had fun and y'all were comfortable with each other. And if you were able to laugh with each other, that's a safe space.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is fiction here. This
Yeah.
is fantasy here.
Let me.
This is your if this is your one time to get to be an a-hole, this might be it.
Right, like as long as
A-hole,
you don't kick
okay?
the puppies IRL, kick all the puppies you want in fiction.
Speaking about kicking something,
You may be nice in real life. Listen, in real life, we're human beings. We act like nice people. We have a sense of morality. But when it comes to, taking part in escapism, that's thrown right out the window for most people, okay?
yeah.
That's the outlet where we get to be, where we get to live out that fantasy.
All right, so
maybe we want to be an emperor who wants to enslave galaxies,
Yeah, so Lady Groove actually did this after that one picture went viral.
This is heresy, okay?
And this is like it was like, and someone actually asked, how were you able to kick that off a wheelchair? And she's like, the Emperor provides.
Okay.
Emperor provides.
One of my favorite memes from
I'm just thinking, like, geez, how many rations do you have to give an obese soldier? I mean,
their rations are just sized for them. Obviously, it's equality, not equity.
Yeah, but this is one thing in Warhammer. Everyone is the bad guy. There is no good guy.
There's no good guy here, okay?
But when there are certain parts of heroism, they shine more.
Exactly.
They shine more in the grimdark galaxy. Like when Gilliman sacrificed himself against to basically sacrifice himself against Mortarion during the Plague campaigns, he was rewarded as the Emperor basically revived him and used him as an avatar to defeat not only Mortarion, but also ended the Plague campaigns by burning Nurgle's garden. And most of that maybe flew over your heads, but as a Warhammer fan...
You said Nurgle?
Yes.
It is a universe of eternal pain and suffering.
Yes.
From the day you were born to your dying breath, it is eternal pain and suffering.
I mean, I love Warhammer. I even have like a pre-order to the new box set, which is called Brutal and Cunning, and it's basically orc tank bustas, because orcs don't use an R unless it's their name, against rattling snipers, and those are basically space hobbits with sniper rifles.
Okay, that does sound odd. That does sound awesome.
I mean, I cannot wait. I'm going to do a opening on this channel, a box opening for this channel for this. And not only that, I wanted to bring this up, but they are finally doing a new update to the Emperor's Children. The Emperor's Children is basically one of the biggest factions of heretical Space Marines. They worship the god of excess, pleasure, and vices, Slanesh, the Prince of Pleasure, she who thirsts. And they are actually did this with a new Fulgrim model. Let me show it to you. Where are spiky bits? Yes. Look how awesome this looks.
Awesome.
I mean, his wings are better and his wings are bigger in Horus Heresy, but this looks awesome. I mean, I can talk about Warhammer all day, every day.
Mhm.
When I'm not talking about comics or anything, or when I'm not talking about Spider-Man or anything else, I can talk about Warhammer all day, and it is just one of the biggest things I've ever done. One of the biggest things, one of the greatest.
When Bandito is not talking about Paul, he's talking about Warhammer.
Fuck you.
I really hope Paul is the
Pretty
all
accurate,
new
that
Venom.
One person.
Paul's gonna be the new Venom. I love it.
No, Venom has more class than that. Plus Venom hates Paul. Venom hates Paul.
He wants to get close to Mary Jane.
All right, so like we're gonna do our last topic. We're gonna talk about the upcoming geek stuff that we are excited for 2024, but 2025.
2025.
Yeah, but before that, Sylph Makini, I want to get your opinion because last time we were here, we basically got our opinion. Me and the guys basically gave our opinion of what was the best and what was the worst of 2024. So, Makini, I want you to go first. Tell us what you thought was the best and the worst of 2025, and this is everything geek.
2024.
Yeah, 2024. Okay, sorry, I'm dyslexic. Okay, this goes everything geek from comic books to video games.
Everything geek, huh? Okay. I'm more excited on the video game side because I didn't really pay much attention to like movies and films and comics. So on the video game front, we've got a lot. We got a whole lot of a lot of good amidst all of the nightmare, amidst all of the stuff that I've been covering. There has been plenty of good this year, especially on the video game side. Yeah, of course, we could cite, the Space Marines. We can cite the big successes this year, the Black Myth Wukongs of the world. But for me, one game reigns above all for me in 2024, and it's the game that I have been championing since the start of this year, and even not earlier than that, and that is, of course, Stellar Blade. That is, it holds a very special place in my heart. It is something that I have been.
The one with the big jiggly bottoms.
That is Nikkei. That is from the same developer. Yes, same dev. Yes, and that too. But it's something that you've defended. It's something that I've supported. Something that has opened up, what has been going on with everything that's been going on in the video game industry. For those who are unaware, on my channel, I am an art channel, but I have been covering what's been going on with the video game industry all this year, and I've never seen just so much stuff. And in the midst of all of the BS, I have to give it to not only Stellar Blade, but I also have to give it to the sheer power and ferocity of the East. We've had so many bangers coming from Eastern devs, and it's really just showing the Western devs, you've fallen so far. We could cite Stellar Blade, Black Myth Wukong. I can even cite The First Descendant. We could cite Metaphor Refantasio. So many games just coming from the East alone last year was a big highlight, and it showed that complete disconnect between developers and fans when even your gacha games are doing what you should be doing. We've had some hits though. So from the game side, I think there has definitely been plenty of good amidst all of the drama, all of the chaos that surrounds the industry. And I do think that the future is going. AAA is not the future anymore. I don't think AAA is going to be the future. It's going to give to the indies. It's going to give to the AA. It's going to give to people who are passionate about this medium first and who want to make great content, who want to make great games, who are not bounded by ideologies, not bounded by monetization, not bounded by all of these different factors. That's the thing to celebrate for 2024. And that's what to look forward to in 2025 for me.
All right. So, what was the worst for 2024?
Pretty much everything I said. The Sweet Baby Inks of the world, the sheer disrespect between the sheer war between developers, publishers, and content creators against fans and content creators. This whole culture war nonsense, which I'm now steeped into, which has made its way into the video game industry. It's been there for a long time. This whole GG2 BS, so much stuff that I've covered, so many games that we've covered that have been failing, that have been absolute flops. So many developers that we have seen showing their butt on social media, not just Twitter, but on Blue Sky, being disrespectful to audiences, being disrespectful to just to this medium.
Mm-hmm.
Like, shows that they put everything else first before actually making a game. And it's like, that's not the way to live. So yeah, that's the worst part. And we're going to experience way more of that in 2025, as it does feel like the pendulum is swinging. The problem is it's swinging towards the complete opposite direction when it needs to settle back down the middle. And the only other worst thing is we need to pour one out for Concord, because that was probably one of the greatest moments. This has to be the greatest August in history I've ever experienced my entire life. Just that whole thing with Concord is a great moment, okay?
2 weeks. Oh, no.
Not even 10 days.
Oh, no. Anyway.
Yeah, we are 10 Freaks, baby.
I got to get that soundbite. All right. Sylph, you still there with us, buddy?
Yep, I'm still here.
All right. So, best and worst of 2024.
We'll start with the worst. The Witcher dropping, fumbling, and then throwing it in the fucking fire with their writing. I'm gonna start
Yikes.
because it was so bad that Henry Cavill, in his own right, said "fuck y'all," and he loved that. He literally, like, I think other actors were talking about how he gave so much time to it. They saw him either playing the game, reading the books, or acting. That was the only thing he did.
Walking encyclopedia.
Basically, he was a walking encyclopedia, and even
I just read the books.
He made like suggestions to the show writers, and that actually pissed them off and caused them to write shit that he specifically didn't want. A couple of their poor decisions were pure pettiness.
Yeah, that's what happens when you switch showrunners after one season.
So I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a quick question.
Okay.
How do you feel about The Witcher 4? With of course with Siri headlining it moving forward.
I could see that going. I could see that going.
Yeah.
Siri was going to always be a Witcher to a certain degree. Like she is a Witcher. You know what I mean? Like,
but unless she's a portal to alternate universes. So unless she goes to an alternate universe and finds a place where she can eat the grasses, where she can not. I mean,
she went to Cyberpunk's world.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. She did end up in Cyberpunk's world. Yeah, she did.
In the books?
Yeah, no, in the video game.
In the video game.
Although
she's not mentioned, but she has survived, and so
she's mentioned in certain data files in the end of Cyberpunk, and then because they were talking about how she had powers without any modifications, and they were very, very enamored by her for that. And then I think I forget which part. I'm pretty sure it's before the raid of the fort. Her and I can't remember his name to save the life of Geralt. Her and Geralt are sitting there talking, and she's like, "You wouldn't believe the shit I've seen." And he's like, "Try me." And she's like, "I went to a world with flying cars, flying
There you go,
carriages, and
flying
shit
machines.
like that."
Yeah.
Yep.
And one other thing, okay, like I have a wait and see mentality, but like a lot of the original people who worked on The Witcher and CD and Cyberpunk, they already left. They went and did their own. They
Yeah, a
already did
lot of like the original developers of like CD of both Witcher and Cyberpunk, they went off to form their own studios. So
Yeah.
it really does show the state of CD Projekt Red at this moment.
Yeah. Okay, so let's continue. Sylph,
that the Harley Quinn fart comic, I know it's not technically 2024, but it was announced in 2024, and I want to burn it already. Like, fuck you for that one. What was the last one? I had one more where they took the writing of the show and they just went off the rocks with it.
Golden Girls.
No, not
Golden.
The Golden Girls reboot just like really was awful.
Really?
Yeah, it was. It was.
Wow.
It was a war crime on Betty White.
I did not know they made a reboot.
Yeah, I made that up. It's gonna happen any day now.
There is something. There's something on Netflix that is an attempt at a remake of the Golden Girls.
God help us.
Like, I forget the name of it, but it's a remake of it, and it's trying to portray like the Golden Girls before they were the Golden Girls. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's called Sex in the City.
But I'm gonna go into the good and see if I can remember to circle back onto that. So I went to Comic-Con with Bendito.
Yeah, Fan Expo.
Oh,
that's
thank you.
Cool.
And well, it was so gracious of him. His sister ended up not going, and he hit me up being like, "What you doing? Would you like to come? I don't want to waste a ticket." And I was like, "Free con ticket? I haven't gone to a con since I was in high school because I haven't had the time to do it since, like freshman even." So I'm like, "Wow, yes, please. Thank you so much." And I went as actually the icon. I went as Ghostface. I love doing Ghostface. When I was at Spirit, we got to be scare actors for the end of the Halloween season. So I was I was consensually chasing little kids around the store full sprints in that costume. And it was so fun. So fun.
Yep. Here you are with Hollow Knight.
Yeah, with Hollow Knight. I love that picture. And I didn't even know they were a YouTuber until they gave me their little sticker. That was great. I ended up meeting here, let me pull up his comic real quick. By Miltz Thayer. I purchased 3 of his originals, one of which is Grace. Amazing comic. It's about this young girl who is essayed and murdered, and in order to get her life back, it's kind of like Death Note, except for it's a lot more personal.
Wow.
And then Handiwork is also really, really good too. It's based on a Guadalajaran hitman who can kill people by simply touching them with his hand, but he can always, like, if he kills them that way, their spirit follows him. And so he's got to basically decide easy, fast way and forever follow me, or like actually do the work into it, but I don't have to deal with it on my conscience. It like he actually has to put thought into who he kills and stuff like that. Those were some really good comics, along with all of the new comics. I was so elated to get the Monster High comics. Bendito has gifted me 3 so far. I just love each one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then Hollow Knight has finally released a drop date for Silksong, and it will be coming out soon. And I am so ecstatic for that. I've been waiting for the next Silksong to come out ever since I fought the sisters. I was like, yes, this is my game now. And then the DLC for Cuphead was amazing. And last thing, Edmund McMillan updated The Binding of Isaac, so now it's Repentis plus beta. And so now there's co-op, which I really, really like doing, and along with a lot more unlockables that you can partake in co-op. And he updated and fixed a whole lot of the game. It's so much funner. Like Eve, which is a character you can play, she has a bird that if you take a hit, it comes off and attacks it for the room. Now it's for the floor. There's items like Lemon Party, where if you use it, it leaves lemon juice on the floor, and then bosses can get hurt by that, but it would dissipate like in like 5 seconds, and so it wasn't really useful. Now it stays on the floor, so you could literally paint an entire room with Lemon Party if you wanted to. He did a lot of amazing fixes to things that were very, very buggy, and I love it.
All right. So is that all best and worst of 2024?
That is for me.
All right. So like things to look forward to for 2025 and things to avoid. For me, let me start with one I saw the trailer of, and I am kind of excited because I really love the John Wick movies, and that is The Ballerina.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the trailer for it, and they actually solved one of the biggest misconceptions that a lot of action movies starring women had, because they say that how women are basic. The teacher, she'll say the people you kill are going to be taller, heavier, and stronger than you, so you must cheat. So that's what she does. She basically kicks in their knees, goes for the family jewels, and like, yes, she'll go for the family jewels. She'll gouge out their eyes. I mean, this is what an assassin should do. I mean, sure, a guy's going to outweigh her by 20 pounds, and she'll know how to take him out and take him out and make him suffer, but just before she puts a bullet in his head.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm also looking forward to James Gunn's Superman. Can't wait for that one. That just looks incredible, especially with Crypto. With Crypto, the John Williams score. On top of that, some of the comics I'm looking forward to is the new Godzilla High series from Boom Studios, also, or IDW, and also
Is that the one that you were telling me about at work, where like all the natural disasters are happening and then Godzilla on top of it?
no, that was actually Godzilla World Disaster, but there was also the other one I told you about was Godzilla Skate or Die, which I did not put in my, shame on me, I did not put in my best of 2024, which was basically a Tony Hawk version of Godzilla.
It's okay. I forgot to put Arcane in my best of 2024 as well.
Yeah. So like another one I cannot wait for. Oh god, there's this anime I want to see called, I think it's about a hitman who became a clerk after he fell in love and he decided to retire, and he basically let himself go, yet he looks so unassuming, yet he can kill people really easily. And it looks funny as hell. Satome Days, something like that. And like, I cannot wait for like, I want to see where the Joe Kelly run goes. I cannot wait for like the next installment of Gotham by Gaslight, which actually has a steampunk version of the Justice League. And I forgot to add this for the best of 2024. I recently saw Nosferatu with my sister. Good movie. And that was basically the same guy who did The Lighthouse, The Witch.
Yeah, Eggers, yeah.
Yeah.
The Northman.
The North. That was the only one I did not like of him, but that was because he took the studio's advice and changed a few things. This guy, he never loves changing things because he is an artist, first and foremost. He refuses to let anybody change his work. This guy's a pure baller. All right. Also, Kingdom Come 2. I love the first Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I love the first one. And those who say that white people don't have a culture, screw you guys. I know a great white person who swears in Dutch. I know two great white people. One is a descendant of Irish descendant, and another one who swears in Swedish when he has a bad day. So screw you guys saying that white people don't have cultures.
It's customer service friendly, man. They don't know what I'm saying, so they can't write me up for it.
Yeah. So Sully, Silk, I know you guys have a culture, and those people who say that white people don't have a culture.
You're very magnanimous of you. Prendemos, mi amigo.
Yeah. So, and those people who are so butthurt because they're doing a game set in the medieval era, who say white people don't have a culture, they can go to hell. But so far, that's all that. Oh, and Yakuza, like a dragon, a Yakuza pirate in Hawaii. I cannot wait for that game. But that's all I have. All I have so far. That's all I have. What I'm looking forward to 2025. Sully, your turn.
Oh, gee. Well, I'll make it short and sweet. 2025, I'm looking forward to most is Rainbow the Brute. Seriously, it's coming through this year. I've been waiting for it long enough, and it's going to be fun. And I still like all the comics I read. I'm going to keep them on my pull list. There's nothing in particular I'm looking forward to. I mean, not Superman, not Captain America 4, anything. But okay, but what was my worst of 2024? Comic book wise, it was Peach Momoko's Ultimate X-Men.
Oh, okay.
I love Peach Momoko. I love her art. I love her interpretations of stuff. But Ultimate X-Men fails on many levels. It's really good on a lot of different things. I love her. Let me tell you what I love about it, because it's eclipsed by what's wrong. It's got great art. It's got great panels, great panel progressions. It has women heroes that are not Mary Sue's. They fail, they grow, they learn. It's got a lot of good stuff. There are these cultural cues at the end of the book. It's Peach is drawing it, she's inking it, she's coloring it, and she's lettering it. So it's getting translated into English as well for the Ultimate X-Men floppy. There are these cultural cues at the end of it. There's a cipher at the end of it that just explains little Japanese cultural things. And I think that's great too. For overall, I should be loving this book, but I don't. I fucking hate this book with a passion because it is literally misandrist. There are no positive or heroic men in this book whatsoever. Every man in this book is awful. They're either a self-deletion victim, they are bullied, they are a bully, they are physically abusive to their daughters, they are the host of the Shadow King. There are no men in this book with good qualities. This is not an X-Men book. This is a shoujo manga. In the skin of some kind of nebulous skin of a Marvel book.
Right.
And I'm so appalled by this book. It was on my pull list and I dropped it at issue 4. I've been reading every issue because of the reviewer copies I get. And every issue that I read justifies my misogynist, backwards, patriarchal, abusive thoughts. No, I'm just being an ass. But this is a very misandrous book. Misandrous means it's the opposite of misogyny. Misandrous means it's about hateful to men. This is a
Yep.
man-hating book, and I despise it out of sheer general principle because this is not fun. This is not how you should be. This is a general. This should be made for general audiences of all things. And this new initiative to get new readers. This is just as bad as Dennis Camp's Ultimates, which is some fucking progressive lefty mouthpiece. Oh, geez, this is awful. So I mean, and I love Peach Momoko's art. I really do, but this is such a miss. And I'm glad I can elucidate this succinctly to not just sound like, oh, you're just punching down on women. No, this is terrible. There are no positive men in this book whatsoever. After 12 fucking issues, after a year, at $4.99 an issue. Think about that's $120. So yeah, so what am I looking forward to this year? I'm looking forward to Rainbow the Brute. I'm looking forward to the good comics, like Jeremy Adams comics, Philip Kennedy Johnson's comics. These are writers. Am I looking forward to Hush 2 by Loeb and Lee? No.
What
Been
about
there, done that.
what about the new Mark Millar that's going to come out later this year?
Well, Vatican City?
Yeah.
Yes, because I'm a big fan of Narwhal, of Peter Berg. He's really good, and but that's like so it's just like I will find things to be grateful for and to be and to be looking forward to in 2025. It's just like 2024. It was fine, I bought a lot of comics. Green Lantern was fine. It was great. That's my DC comic. Hulk was great. That's my Marvel comic. There's one called Rook Exodus, which is on Image Comics. It's on an imprint called Ghost Machine. It's toyetic. It's the best comic you're not reading. There's The Sacrificers by Rick Remender and Max Fiuma. There's a lot of good stories, not from the big two. But let me tell you, just fucking Ultimate X-Men, what a kick in the nuts. Seriously, it is so misandrous. It is so anti-male. It's all about girl power. And it's like, this is for a general audience? No, it is not.
All right. Thanks, Sully. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Mac, what are you looking forward to for 2025?
Me? Well,
Big booties and thick thighs. Yes.
Not really.
No, come on.
I'm looking forward to the channel.
Really? Oh, yeah.
I'm looking forward to the channel. I'm looking forward to building up my channel. I'm looking forward to making more art than I did last year. I'm looking forward to having new experiences for the channel as well as myself. I'm looking forward to getting off my keister and really considering career changes. And that's what I'm looking forward to the most. I think 2025 is going to be my year. I think it's going to be 2024 was my year. I think 2025 will be as well.
Yeah. Here's hoping you get fucked up. How many subscribers do you have?
310 3108. 3105.
All right. Here's hoping you get like Warhammer and get 40K. 40K this.
Well, it's a little too high, but we are. I already made my campaign called Double or Nothing, where we're trying to get to 6K for the end of the year. So I got to get back to making some serious. I got to really get started on making like regular content on the channel. So that is the plan.
Yeah. Okay, Sylph, buddy, what are you looking forward to the most?
I already mentioned this. I am looking forward to Silk Song. I've been waiting for it for multiple years since I found Hollow Knight to begin with. That I can't wait, especially with they finally did updates and they actually have a release date. It's supposedly going to be out in August, but no rush. Team Cherry's always known for not rushing, so I love it. I actually kind of want to piggyback off of Makini. Or Makini, because I really need to get back into drawing. I did some amazing art this year, but I want to get back into consistently doing more than like 4 to 5 pictures a week. And I'm also looking forward to finally getting into nursing school and stuff like that, because that's gonna happen soon, and I'm really, really excited for that personally.
Good luck with that, buddy.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Also, I'm about to get my name legally changed on Monday, which is
Congratulations.
Nice.
why. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. I've known you as Sylph, and you'll always be Sylph to me, buddy.
It's still gonna be Sylph. I'm just changing my dead name. I'm
Yeah.
just legally making it Sylph now.
Yeah. So I've never known you by your dead name, but I've known you by Sylph. It's gonna be. I'll always remember you as Sylph.
Thank you. I appreciate it more.
Yeah. All right. So that is all we have today. Thank you for tuning in to Geeks Talking Geek. I've been Bandito Bane, the well-rounded nerd, the Super Spider-Man fan, and the Warhammer noob. Thanks to Reverend Sully. Thank you to Makini. Thank you to my buddy Sylph. Thank you to everyone who has come in. Power, Jaffo, Salty Traveling, and anybody who's catching the rewatch. I want to thank you all. 2024 has its up and downs, but we will make it through 2025 as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so keep playing. So I want to say, as I always say when I sign out, keep playing and God bless. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.